I've not got any footage. Well, this is one of the greatest starts I've ever seen to a broadcast. If you are watching out there, Codemasters, have you got any suggestions on how we can improve this? Because I can't see any. I'm going to see if your invite might actually get me straight in. I'm going to try that. Meanwhile, message from XJ10 says, first mechanism of laxity, then second TRL Button, third Fearless, fourth Ice Cold Andy, fifth Bobbert, and then Rain becomes better at the end, so last burst across the start line will be fastest. I think the final part of your message makes the most sense there, because I'm not sure that's the best prediction.
I think Nutter's 95 has a good chance today. This is one of his strongest tracks in race simulations, been beating TRL Button, so he's looking pretty good. I think the Williams have a decent strategy as well, so it may work out quite well for them. But we'll only have to wait and see. And I'm still on board with Stuart. Seems to be not a bad lap, but nothing is going to set the world light. And in fact, he does dive into the pit lane. So here goes Exler's Hamilton. He's improved to 44.1, but does not change his position. He's still P8.
Yeah, I'm still getting the old I can't do anything because it's nearly complete mode.
We've still got 7 minutes.
To say, viewers, how many minutes did you say?
7.
Well, there we go. So apparently it's nearly finished because there's 7 minutes left. Jonathan Saunders simply says, improve the game. That's a solution. Well, it's blunt and to the point, but you can't say fairer than that. Well, needless to say, all I can do here, viewers, is talk to you. I've got absolutely no idea what's going on track.
Well, we'll try and discuss maybe some of the drivers while they're on track. I mean, Jambo's just made a bit of a big error there, but let's have a look at Jambo's profile this season whilst he's out on track. And he has been racing since season 5 in the F1 division. His best result is a first place, so I mean, he is doing well. And Jambo has done well in the league, last season finishing 3rd in the championship. And he finished a respectable 2nd at Australia behind TRL Button, so...
Well, I'm going to try and do something just to be able to give me some footage here. It's going to ruin the stream for you all on Channel 2, so I do apologise, but I'm going to try and boot up the Channel 1 stream and take a look at it myself, just so I've got an idea of what's going on track. Because needless to say, I've never seen that before. We had the issue where all the times are out of sync, and now 7 minutes before the end, it's nearly complete. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't understand it. This game has more and more glitches by the day. Edamar Mr. Indigo really struggling. I've seen him in practice and he seems to be competitive, but in dry conditions this is much different. I didn't actually look what the conditions were for the wet.
He's really struggling here.
No, in practice
currently going through
Indigo.
Oh, right, I see. He's just coming through turns 5 and 6, the quick sweepers, and into the shoehorn of 7 and 8, assuming that this stream's in sync. I don't know how far behind the real footage is. Indigo goes off and is out of XRL Bobberts, meanwhile, in the Ferrari.
Sean's lost connection. Oh dear, for Sean there.
That definitely shows how far behind I am then, because I've not got that on my screen. XRL Bobberts goes to 152.0, P13. Definitely finding it very difficult in these conditions, it has to be said. As I say, keep your messages coming in on the stream. We'll try and do our best to talk through them while we can, because needless to say, this is not very easy at all. Received a message, meanwhile, from one of the other people out there. That's from Cap'n Waiter. He says it apparently had the same as what happened to me. Wait till qualifying ends, then join. But the positive note is you get the best race view in terms of connection. Well, that's an encouraging sign there. Thanks for that, Captain Waiter. Evidently, that's one of the things we do have moving forward in terms of the stream, is we are currently looking for a person to do this. I believe the F4, isn't it? The F4 stream where we're expecting someone to step in. If possible, of course, one of the issues with being a streamer is there is a lot of gear required, and there is also a lot of cost involved. So if you are able to jump in, that's great. Sharky, meanwhile, saying, is anyone else getting buffer in the streams? I can't understand why am I when I've got fibre optic with a speed of 20 megabytes. Sharky, I've got a fibre optic with a speed of 50 and I can't even connect to the lobby. So I really wouldn't worry about it at the moment. I think that's the least of anyone's problems. Sean, meanwhile, has rejoined, so at least we've got him back in here. Well, anyone, Mr. Indigo has decided to stop out inside. Very strange. We're saying that he's having the same issue as Sharky, so only a few people are finding it difficult to watch the stream tonight. I mean, guys, I would say watch Channel 2, but unfortunately, all you're going to see at the moment is a strange version of Channel 1. Because, as I say, at this moment in time, well, I can't get mine working. So that might be an issue for later on. Hopefully that can get it all sorted for you. Yeah, well, for the last 2 races with regards to F1, we found things difficult. Meanwhile, this stuff is someone that's saying nice background. Oh, you want to see my background, do you? Okay. Why not? Everyone likes to see girls. Now, in the meantime, Sean, connection issues. Has it been something that's been a bit of a problem for you in the first coming weeks?
No, but it looks like I'm not going to be racing because I've joined back and it says you cannot join the session in progress as it is nearly complete. Please wait and try again in a moment.
I've got the same thing, Sean. I'm currently staring at the list, so it's not just me. I'm not going insane for once. So, needless to say, do you reckon you'll have a chance to make it in? Because obviously, I don't know what's going on here.
By the looks of things, I'm just going to be sitting here all day, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm hoping you can get in, but it doesn't sound good really, does it?
Well, I mean, from what I can see so far, I mean...
No, well, Pete's done that already. It's you get it, like, he's done it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, we've been unfortunately having this... It mean like Roosevelt is saying on Channel 1 that he reckons it'll miss the race, and that they've had the issue as well. I mean, has anyone ever passed this on to Codemasters? Because I've never been aware of this.
Problem is, Codemasters seriously don't care now. They're concentrating on 2014. They're not going to bring out another patch for this game. Otherwise, they would have done it already because there's too many issues with the online. And they do know about it, but they just haven't done anything about it. Unfortunately.
JK10, I'm not turning my Xbox off and then back on.
It won't do anything. It's just a glitch in the lobby.
Because, I mean, if Sean's got the same issue I have, then it's definitely an issue with the connection, not with the actual thinking. But in the meantime, Nutters 91, he's on 142.8. Going for P5, but
he was P2 just a moment ago, so he's really just gone down a few places. But I'm on board with him.
Going through turns 5 and 6 there. Got too much of the inside a curb though, as they're going to 7 and 8. This double apex, kind of like a horseshoe. And he's done okay there, but he took a bit too much of the inside curb, and that's thrust him a little wide. And then this
how are you seeing the racing if you're not in the session?
He's watching.
I'm watching the stream, Channel 1.
Isn't it delayed for you?
Yeah, it is. It will be.
It is delayed, so my comments are slightly out of sync, but it's better than nothing. I've got an idea what's going on.
So Nutters is now about to go around the final corner. Let's see how competitive this is. It's going to be closest to whether it's a serious improvement. It's now going down to the line. It will be an improvement. It's by only 4/10, but it's good enough to make him go from 5th to 3rd. It's at 142.4. So with 29 seconds to go, 25 seconds to go. We've got TRL Button P1, half a second ahead of LGS Nutters in P3. P4, Mr. Ice Cold Andy with Jambo in P5. Reese 26 get ahead of Stuart with Fearless in 8th. Velexity 9th. Tom in 10th after his fantastic Australia. 11th Roberts, 12th Hamilton, and last Indigo.
Well, in the meantime, I'm trying to wait till it gets started. I mean, I'm still having the issue where I can't connect to it.
Yeah, well, the session has finished now, so it's looking quite unlikely that Sean will be racing. Which is...
The question is, can I get in to cover it? Because it looks like I'm still not able to join.
I think Nutters is on another slightly quicker lap. I'm on board with, looks like Reese 26, but this looks like that's he's given up on the lap. Stuart is on a lap, is he? Not too sure. We'll keep an eye. It's not going to be a competitive one, I don't think. So we'll be moving off him. Fearless now. This again, not competitive. Oh, did you both leave?
I've just left
now. I'm trying to see if it'll allow me to connect.
I'm coming off. I'm not even bothering anymore.
Well, it's a shame, Sean, because I know you did a bit of practice.
I think a bit's a bit of an understatement, but
yeah.
Yep.
And I still can't join
right,
even now.
A strongly worded letter to Codemasters might help. No.
I think this is just going to add to a long list of waste of my time because Codemasters can't seem to figure out how to create a game properly.
Sadly, sad but true. But TRL Button takes pole with Nutters overtaking LGS right at the last to get P2 with a 142.3. LGS third with Andy and fourth to the Williams, looking strong today.
Well, I would like to give you my commentary, but I still cannot join the session.
You will be able to join probably in about 30 seconds or so. Once we actually start the lobby, that's when you'll be able to get in, as Rusty's just commented.
Well, you need to get a comment to one of the drivers to not start the race.
I will do. I'll be right back.
If it's 0% on the qualifier and it's rain.
Dan, did you get the results? I couldn't get a picture in time. Go.
I have
Channel
told them.
1 and Channel 2. Right, it says race. It's got a few people got R's next to the names.
That means we're all now going into the race lobby. So you should be able to press. You should be able to get in quite soon.
It's still saying Channel
It
join.
may be when we actually start the session, though. We've only just got into
Right,
the
hang on,
session.
wait. I'm getting some kind of movement here.
Ooh.
So this might be what I need. Right, viewers, it looks like we are going to be back in action. Well, thank God for that. So hopefully we'll be able to bring you some full, uninterrupted coverage live tonight, courtesy of GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. This is where we'll be giving you coverage live on Channel 1 and Channel 2 in simulcast. You can choose which view you'd like. Also, as well, the chat boxes are open on both sides. You can follow the leads of the likes of Jonathan Saunders, the likes of Sharky, the likes of Rusty and Wes, who've all given comments so far. Give us your predictions for the race. Give us your comments. Let us know what's all happening as we wait for everything to start kicking off. And I am in.
You are in. Good, good, good. Well, I will ready up in about 30 seconds' time, but can you see anyone other than TRL Button winning this race today?
Well, I mean, it's a question of what the conditions are going to be like. So again, it said 0% of rain,
It is 31%.
and it rained all through qualifying.
It is 31%.
Well, with the rain changing,
dry.
we saw TRL Button being brilliant at calling it last week in Australia, in Melbourne. So he's going to definitely have the form. My Ice Cold Andy had learned quite a lot of errors of his ways last week, and I'm pretty sure he wants to close that gap. The Irishman is the defending champion, and if he wants to have any chance of getting himself back into the title hunt, he needs a good showing here today, so I expect him to fight tooth and nail.
Exactly. As I said earlier, I think Nutters has got a big chance today. Andy in P4, if he can get past LGS early on, he's got a chance. Reese 26, it's good to see him as high as he is. Relaxity's in a slightly lowly position in 9th. Thought he'd be a lot higher than that.
It's good that you mentioned Reese, because of course he surprised everyone. Last week started last, having had a connection issue in qualifying, ended up on the podium. So when it comes to race pace, evidently he's lost none of his touch and definitely wants to bring himself back in here, so I wouldn't even write him off.
Right, well, I think we're ready to go. So let's get this lobby underway and started. I'm going to say Nutters today. I'm going to stick my neck out and say someone different than TRL Button.
Well, for all you people out there who are watching, what's your comments? Who do you think is going to be the one who takes the prize? Make sure you get in on the comments on Channels 1 and Channel 2. Either one of us will be able to read your comments out. I'm still waiting for players so I can bring you footage. Currently got a nice view of turns 2 and 3.
Well, don't comment who you think is going to win one lap before the end, because that is cheating. Right, so we are here for round 1. Well, not round 1, that was last week. Round 2 of the XRL. You should do in about any second now. You should be able to press A for spectate. But here we are, round 2 of the XRL F1 Championship. We've got 13 out of the 14 driving today.
Lots of cars on the grid today. Make sure you keep out of trouble.
On it because you should be able to watch it from now.
Yeah, in the meantime, so getting on the grid, TRL Button's going to start from pole position, but he's going to be chased very, very quickly by Ice Cold Andy in the Williams, heading further down towards turn 1. TRL Button's got a good launch up the line. Well, look at the Ferrari on the inside, getting a superb run down towards turn 1. TRL Button's in the caught in a sandwich between the Williams and the Ferrari. There's a little bit of brush contact there. TRL Button pushes him a little wide, takes the lead into turn 2. The Williams falls into second place behind them, got a 4-car sandwich as one of the Saubers look like making a move at the inside. Meanwhile, Reese 26 in the Lotus, still behind one of the Williams in 6th place at the moment. Tom 625 in the Mercedes right at the back of the field. He's on a very poor start. Finds himself right at the front of the field.
Yep, it's as you were for the top 3 then, although it did look for a minute as if TRL Button was going to lose that place to either Nutters around the outside or LGS on the inside, but somehow he kept the lead. Nutters
it's because he actually hit them. He managed to tap Nutters. It wasn't any, I don't think it was anything malicious, but it meant that he pushed him a little wide there. As XRL Fearless takes a look at one of the inside and one of the Red Bulls going, oh, he's got very deep as a result of that. Just gets away after back out of that move there. XRL Fearless looking at the back of Velocity, who's also chasing down Mr. Indigo in the sister Ferrari, I believe.
And no one's to report on early on then. It's as you are for the top 4. P5 is Reese 26. He's getting
looking at the inside and one of the Saubers there gets on the inside. Meanwhile, Reese 26 in the Lotus just pulls away. As out front, we've got a bit of an incident now as Ice Cold Andy in P4 looking to get close to the back of XRL, LGS, Nutters and TRL Button is in the lead. But Nutters goes a little wide there and that's allowed XRL, LGS to get a good run at him going off the start-finish line down towards turn 1. On the stream, Rusty Nut says Nutters for the win, while Mr. Stevo initially said TRL Button, then said actually I want Andy to win. Well, a couple of interesting hedging bets so far from all you fans. Get your messages out there, let us know who you think is going to win.
So Reese 26 has actually dropped down a position to XRL Stuart B949. Velexity's had a good start. He's now into P7, having a look at his teammate, but Reese has made a move on Stuart, and he's on the prime, so Reese is doing good at the moment. Velexity's going to sneak down the
Look at that
inside
fantastic move on the inside, but it looks like all 4 tyres may have possibly been over the inside there. Cars are side by side as Velexity looking to go around the outside into turn 5. It's going to be caught out of position into 6 here. Oh, contact between him and the McLaren. The McLaren goes off the track. That Steve has been badly compromised there. Velexity ends up pushing Stuart out. He's down in P9. Oh, we're on to P10 now. After that collision, P11, P12. Stuart falling back through the field like an anchor into the ocean at the moment as XRL Bobbers takes a look at the inside of one of the Red Bulls side by side through turns 9. Oh, side punt glitch. Both cars spinning out there. Bobbers down to P12. Somehow survives the frackers. And meanwhile, Stuart now in P10 fighting his way back through the field, but Velocity really went a bit too hot through turn 6 there. Should have backed out of that, and that was a collision caused.
Yeah, I didn't actually see. So who was the person who suffered from the side pod then? Because I was not there.
No, it wasn't Bobbers, it was someone behind Bobbers. I'm going to see if I can find out who that is cycling back through the field. Ex-Lewis Hamilton's still down in P9, would you believe? Initially a potential championship fighter, really caught out of position here. Bobbers, it was anyway, Mr. Indigo. He's been badly compromised due to side pod glitch. That's pushed him over. TRL Button's under big pressure now because Nutters has caught right up to him, and XRL LGS, and that's excellent. Nutters goes totally over the inside of turn 2 there. Goes totally white crossing, but makes it the wrong way round. But XRL LGS got a great chance now into turn 4. Gets a look up the inside of Nutters, or backs out on the move. Realises there's only one line through there. And Nutters is on the prime tyres here in P2 in a great position.
He is doing a very good job. Fearless currently running P8. I'm on board with him. He is in the Sauber sandwich here. Well, and he's got Jambo just in front.
Steve-O's given interesting perspective on the incident between Stuart and what looks like it would have been Velocity, saying that the McLaren left no room and just swung back into the racing line. But that racing line is designed where you go on the inside of 5. As Ice Cold Andy takes a look at LGS, trying to go around the outside into the tyre corner turn 12. Oh, collision between the Ferrari and the Williams there. Ice Cold Andy's just had to back out of the high ground, but he's got great traction going through the high-speed chicanes into sector 3. As I enter the first of the 2 DRS zones, and DRS will be available. Ice Cold Andy takes a tighter line and lies on the prime tyres. This Williams has definitely got the pace flat wide open as he heads down towards the final corner. All curves depleted. Goes to the outside. He might be trying a karting line switchback move here, Andy. Goes into the inside corner. Goes a little too wide, too deep there. Caught out by the braking distance. And LGS manages to hang on.
I'm on board with Fearless, who's trying to get himself out of this sandwich that he's in. He Nearly had it, though he just lost the traction outside the exit of the last corner. And he is
Jambo's got no DRS to defend into turn 1 here. Heading in Jambo in the Sauber in P7. Oh, that's Lewis Hamilton's going to look in the back here. Great potential stuff for a cutback. But Jambo's going to have the tighter line into turn 2. But that's not going to stop him as Fields looks like on the other side there. Has to back out of the move. Just run out of room. XRL Fields now the big pressure as Hamilton and the sister Sauber's going to be side by side of him heading towards turn 4. XRL Fields on the outside like Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber in 2013. XRL Fields just holding the high ground to turn 5. And Lewis Hamilton backs out of the move, but now Stewart is all over the back of him in P10. Stewart looks on the inside. What a fantastic piece of driving to find the traction there. Stewart making that move beautifully work. And he's now looking at the back of the field. This is Red Bull.
This is close in the mid-pack. Is that TRL Button who's just made a bit of a lead now?
Looks like he's stretched his legs a little bit. As Jambo in P7 now has a chance to break away from these guys. Get himself out of the clutches. Reese in P6. Chasing down Velocity, his teammate in P5. Then in P4 we've got Ice Cold Andy who's still behind XRL LGS. And LGS on the option tyres. So he'll have to blitz earlier. But at the same time he will have those prime tyres available. But will the rain scupper that? There's a chance of 31% here. As I enter the final corner, DRS available to Ice Cold Andy. Goes a little wide on the brakes initially, and that costs him a bit of traction. Coming out of the final corner, flat wide open, but LGS has the same advantage on his teammate Nutters. Heading out towards turn 1. No curves depleted yet from Ice Cold Andy. He fancies a late braking move here into turn 1, and he's going for it. There's no contact. He's going to be on the outside for turn 2 though. LGS got the better line. Andy tries to switch back and deceive him, but LGS has got just too much traction for now. Going through turn 3 though, Ice Cold Andy's going to have a great opportunity with side by into turn 4. He's quickly going front. Has he got the high ground to be able to switch in first point? He has. Ice Cold Andy, but he's gone off the circuit. LGS now has a chance to go around the outside of 5. This is going to be brave. We saw Paul the rest to do this once on Kimi Räikkönen. Heading into turn 6 there. Ice Cold Andy's just got the high ground and just keeps it on the track. It was a crucial pass for Andy there on the prime tyres. He needed to get past LGS, and he needed to get a chance to go after his teammate. Behind them, meanwhile, Jambo's under big pressure, because XRL Fields is side by side into the old hairpin, looking to go around the outside, but he's just not got the traction and had to give that up. And as a result, Stewart in the McLaren in P9 is now right behind him.
Well, they're asking questions of Jambo today. He's holding these guys up, I would say. Look at the gap between him and the car in front. It is opening up.
The likes of Reese, the likes of Velocity will not mind that one bit. As Stewart takes too much of the inside curve there, going over the penultimate corner. DRS flap available, and this is a great opportunity now for XRL Fearless and the Red Bull to side up the inside. He's committed to the inside line. Is he going to have the brakes to do this? Jambo's on the outside trying the karting line here, and he's actually found the traction due to the straighter line exit. But XRL Fearless has got the DRS to try and chase it down. But Stewart meanwhile in the McLaren. Looking at all the inside, this is Barrichello and Michael Schumacher at Hungary. They're so close to the pit wall. And Stewart's he's going to down the pair of them. XRL Fearless fancies to go around the outside of turn 2 here. But still a bit of contact there. Jambo's been forced off.
Jambo
as a result of that, Hamilton filters into P9.
He's just clipped the back end of, I think it was a McLaren Stewart, and he has lost out big time because of that.
Oh, Stewart shot very late back to the racing line there. XRL Fearless had to really ride the clutch on the throttle to avoid hitting him. But as we go through turns 5 and 6, Fearless has got better traction. Evidently the rubber in the option tyres is falling away from these runners. The likes of LGS, the likes of Stewart. These guys have been compromised as the likes of Fearless, Ice Cold Andy are all over them. Look how much wide the Stewart took that corner there. But up ahead, we've got another three-way scrap here, heading in towards, I think it's P3, P4 to P5. Velocity in the Lotus has caught to the back of LGS, who starts to fall away a little bit from Ice Cold Andy. On the stream, Steve-O saying spectacular racing. Well, they are the top division for a reason, as X-Velocity is going to have the DRS available to him. But XRL LGS has got a great chance now on the back of Andy.
Look at that for a move from the Sauber of, is that Lewis Hamilton in P7? I'm now going into P8, sorry, P9.
Well, DRS will be available to LGS with Kurz as they go off the final corner. The flaps open. He's looking at the back of Ice Cold Andy, one of his old nemesis who he raced very hard last season. Heading it towards turn one. LGS fancies the outside line. Andy's going to force him to it. Andy's drifted wide though to cover him off. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Going through turn two, LGS fancies to try and nip underneath him. Ice Cold Andy's taking the wear of his tyres to weave this left and right to keep LGS behind him, but LGS has got the toe, heading for turn 4, and he's drifted slightly to the centre of the track, and LGS has to back out of the move.
Lewis Hamilton now on the back of Stewart. He looks like he's going to make a move. Doesn't decide to do it here. If he can get the better drive out, he just runs a little bit wide. Stewart's tyres are definitely starting to fall away though.
Velocity's gained very quickly on the back of XRLs. Yes, sorry to cut across you there. Through turns 5 and 6, Velocity's got much better line, and the grip on that Lotus is really giving him a great run through 7 and 8. As he heads to the hairpin at turn 9, Velocity on the outside. He's not afraid to drive the long way round and try and cut back. LGS just about covers him off. This is Andy's chance now to close up to his teammate as Velocity gets himself into a fight with XRL LGS.
Stewart runs wide, and that's a place for Lewis Hamilton, and he's now under pressure from Fearless and Jambo. This is a three-way scrap for 8th. This fight's all the way down. It's just a shame
Velocity had to go totally off the track at the final corner. I think he was caught out by the line that LGS was taking, so LGS has now got the gap. And behind him, Reese 26 has started to close his teammate, but you're quite correct. Behind next Lewis Hamilton in 8th place. Stewart's under big pressure, got the DRS open, but XRL, Fearless and Jambo. Fearless is going to try and dive up the inside here, and he's on the brakes nice and late, just a little wide, but Stewart can't cut back past him. Great piece of driving there for XRL Fearless. DRS open now on the back of Stewart's car, but he's got X-Jambo in the cellar, bearing down on him very quickly.
Looking for the move. Side extremely defensive, and Stewart's trying to go around the outside, but the tyres have given up on him there.
And Stewart's has just lost the place to Jambo, who's cut underneath him, and Stewart's under pressure now because I think that's Tom 625 behind him in the Mercedes, who's also called up very quickly. He's currently running in P10, and it's another of the prime tyres runners. And it's now time really for Stewart to think about maybe getting himself in some clean air and getting a fresh set of boots on because he's making too many mistakes.
Definitely. So let's actually have a quick rundown, seeing as we're going through the quicker sector, so there shouldn't be too many overtakes. Actually, as I say that, Jambo's got really
Jambo's got a great run off 6, gone a bit wide, but he's going to have a chance through 7 and 8 down to the hairpin if he can nail these apexes. At the same time, XRL Fields has responded by using a bit of curves, I think, getting out of the corner into the hairpin at turn 9. XRL Fields takes the traditional line. Jambo goes on the inside, really pushes his brakes to braking point there.
It just unsettled the car on the exit, getting a little bit of curve there. That's already stopped him from having any sort of go. He's still there though. You might have a look at the DRS down the straight on Fearless.
Yeah, through 12 and 13, and Fearless made a mistake through 12, pushed him wide at 13 and compromised his entry into this really tight corner of 15. But ahead, Hamilton must have made an error because Fearless has called to him very quickly. It doesn't have the DRS though, but he's still closing down very quickly on the back of that Sauber. Meanwhile, ahead of them, we've got someone into the box. That might be LGS on the Ferrari, as XRL Fearless is going to definitely have DRS available to him here on the back of Hamilton. The flap goes open. Evidently, he's been listening to the commentary. That's good advice from us there to get him in. XRL Fearless heading out towards turn 1. DRS flap open, but at the same time, Hamilton's just got the distance for now. But Fearless is really bearing down on him and dragging X-Jambo and Tom 625 along for the ride. Going through turn 2, XRL Fearless takes a nice tight line there. Got right onto the back of Hamilton's car, but through turn 3, Hamilton just was able to bolt away and Fearless had to respond with curves there.
So Fearless is definitely giving Jambo some problems here. Lewis Hamilton's trying to catch, he just doesn't have, he just can't quite catch as
Hamilton's
much.
in 5.
Oh, 5, so we've got Jambo in P7. So yeah, he's right in the middle of this Sauber sandwich then. So as they are driving around, we'll have a quick rundown. So TRL Button is still out on track and he is in first with the 2 Williams drivers, Nutters and Mr. Ice Cold Andy second and third. Reese doing a great job in 4th, staying out with Lewis Hamilton 5th. First car of this group of 3 with 67th Fearless and Jambo. 8th is Tom 625. 9th is
XRL Fearless just done a half spin through turn 10, and that's lost in ground on Hamilton, but crucially it's also brought X-Jambo to the back of him, and Jambo fancies a chance through 12 and 13, and he's lining up Fearless here. He's going to try to drive around the outside of 14, that'll be brave. He's had to back out of that, but up ahead now, as a result of this, Hamilton has actually caught to Reese.
Yeah, Reese has been caught quite badly. I think that's a signal to pit for some new tyres.
Yeah,
Only 9
Reese
laps
might
in,
have dived
though.
straight into the box here. Or what? Is Reese going to dive in? No, he's not. And Hamilton's got the DRS. Well, meanwhile, behind them, XRL Fearless is going to have Jambo all over his trumpet. Heads or tails, who do you want to cover? As Hamilton gets the DRS flag over, and sells Reese a perfect dummy, goes left then right, can he get it stopped into turn 1? Reese tries to retaliate there and has actually hit Hamilton. Hamilton's gone off the track and he's lost out spectacularly there. XRL Fearless, X-Jambo and Tom625 all blasting past him.
I think that was partly Lewis Hamilton's fault, just diving in front of him at the braking zone.
Well, on my screen, Hamilton had sold him a dummy, got totally past him, and then at the same time, it looked like, we'll have to review the footage after the race, Reese 26 looked like he was the one who was responding to the attack that had been made on him, and whether he got his braking distance wrong or what, but it looked to me that Hamilton had already got totally past him after selling an excellent dummy to Reese 26.
He sold him a good dummy, but what I think Reese didn't underestimate or didn't see until the last moment was once Lewis Hamilton made the move and got past, he dived onto the line to get back onto the racing line. I think Reese was just a little bit slow to react to it, and that's why he got nudged off. And that's cost him
at the end of the day, it's for the stewards to review. But X-Jambo has now caught up quickly to the back of Fearless, and at the same time, Fearless is also catching very quickly to Reese 26. So the Lotus driver's not going to be free of the walls yet. On the stream, Steve-O says he thinks Hamilton outbroke himself. Well, this is why we always review incidents after the race. We don't want to make anyone put on the pedestal too early. Now, Reese 26 under big pressure here. XRL fails to DRS down towards the final corner. And Reese has dived into the pits. He's gone straight in on lap 10 on the prime tyres. That's very, very early.
That is early.
So X-Jambo P5 trying to get after Fearless. Behind him, Tom625 in the Mercedes, closing at a rapid rate of knots. These three drivers closest on track from what I can see at the moment. Going through turn 1 though, no one's able to make the move. Hamilton now in... So he's not lost out massively. Meanwhile, Tom625 looked like he was going to get a chance on Jambo, but Jambo had such a great traction off turn 2 and through 3, and now Fearless is under pressure into turn 4.
Great to see so many of you watching tonight. I've got K-Robin99 Gaming, Mr. Steve-O, Sharky, Tucker, Gravely's on as well, Crazy Fish. I hope you're not going to watch NCIS or whatever you usually do at 9 o'clock. I will be disappointed. But yeah,
meanwhile, going through turns 7 and 8, Jambo's got a great run here, got a nice nailed apex, but he's going wide a couple of times now. Evidently the tyres are giving up on him, and Tom625 in the Mercedes now will fancy a chance under DRS.
That's a bit of a drift round there. Jambo, I'm quite surprised. I thought the tyres would last a bit longer than what they are on these on the primes.
Well,
I thought they'd go maybe
Malaysia, you have to remember, traditionally Malaysia is a high tyre wear circuit. We've got turns like 5 and 6, the high speed changing directions at the chicane. You've got 12 and 13, which is the same. You've got the double apex corners of 7 and 8. There's a lot of high speed corners here, and that means you're putting a lot of load through the tyres, particularly the outside left. So it's quite possible, even with the higher compounds, they are going to wear. Now, in the meantime, Tom65 has fallen away from the back of Jambo, who's actually close quickly to the back of Fearless. Going through the final corner, Fearless has got a slightly better exit, though. Now, Jambo got a little wobbly on the braking there, and he's very, very late to activate the DRS, Jambo. Nonetheless, the overspeed difference is making a massive, massive toll. Fearless defends to the inside pit lane. Jambo manages to go around the outside. Oh, has he made the car stick on the outside? No, Fearless has just done enough to retain the position. Very fair driving there.
Trying to cut down the inside. He's going to get on the
curve. Side by side through 3, and Tom625 makes a fantastic move for now, but Jambo's got the better line to 4. It's a question of whether Jambo's confident on the brakes into turn 4 itself. No, he's had to give up. Great overtaking for Tom625 there.
Tom625's definitely made the transition from GP2 to F1 almost seamlessly. I mean, he's competing. He is competing beyond, above and beyond where I thought he would be.
You have to say that he's really brought the pace here. And X-Jambo, who's had a season of F1 experience and had a season of experience of podiums as well, to be fighting with Tom625 for 5th and 6th is definitely not where he imagined he'd be this season. Evidently, he's going to have to try and bring his A-game. Obviously, the team switch from Force India to Sauber will have hurt his driving a little bit, because all cars, despite them all being equal, some cars are more equal than others, as George Orwell would say.
Sharky saying he paused Star Trek Voyager to watch this stream. Well, that is commitment right there. And
yeah.
I'd say this has
Pausing a
delivered.
terrible sci-fi show to watch F1 racing.
This has delivered so far. You have to say it's been very, very close between a lot of them. It's currently within the pit stop.
At the back end of the point, Stuart B949 has just been overtaken at turn 11, but he's not giving up side by side for 12 and 14, and into the DRS zone at the back of one of the Lotuses. That will be Reese, I assume, on the option tyres. So Reese in P11.
Yeah, that's it. Is Reese in P11. Valexi's just a little bit down the road, but yes, Reese.
DRS over Stewart in the McLaren, heading down towards the final corner. Just not got the grip, but Reese goes wide at the final turn, so that's going to give a better exit for Stewart in the McLaren. Curse deployed, DRS flat wide open, as they head down towards turn 1. Now Reese has shown quite a bit of contact here, so Stewart's got to be careful. We've also got a driver coming out of the pits. That might be Axel Hamilton maybe in the Sauber, but Stewart dives on the inside of turn 1. Is he going to have the line through 2 to make this position stick as a little tail happy? Oh, just a bit wide through 2 there, so Reese is going to have a chance down towards turn 3, but Stewart's just got the traction to make that move stick, and now Reese has got Hamilton all over his gearbox. Hamilton defends this, and actually lets him through.
He lets him through there, that's an odd one. Maybe he felt like he nudged him earlier on in the race, maybe for that incident.
Maybe that's what he was trying to do, give some kind of concession back to him. Interesting. But that, as a result, has now got Reese all over the back of Hamilton, and also on the back of Stewart. Hamilton getting a bit shaky there going towards turn 7 and 8, and Reese has got the better line as a result through that towards turn corners. Down towards the hairpin at turn 9, and Hamilton's looking at the back of Stewart. Oh, Reese has nearly went to the back of Hamilton there. The better traction on the options definitely showing. I was like, oh, totally out of sync there from Reese. You heard those tyres squealing there. Really pushing the rubber. The option tyres won't like that at all.
So it's surprising, we're watching the battle pretty much for the...
Hamilton wants to move on the outside of turn 14 for Stewart here, and he's going to have a tighter line as a result going into the DRS zone. He's got half his curves available, deploys it immediately, but he's got to be careful he doesn't make the move stick before the final corner, then get redone under DRS down towards turn 1. He's easily got the move done. Reese, like, he just had to abort the move there. Evidently, Steve just caught him out. But Stewart's now got the DRS on the back of Hamilton. Is Hamilton going to get redone down towards turn 1? The Sauber seems to have good straight line speed,
yeah,
though.
It's got some good speed there. I mean, oh, it goes
Stewart's making a late lunge, though, and he's got it stuck to the corner, taking too much of the curb. Nearly spun it into turn 2, and that's spectacular to get that done.
Definitely. I was not expecting that one. And even Reese thought he might have a go. So I think Lewis Hamilton was a bit cautious into there.
It seemed like a last minute late breaker special there from Stewart. As Hamilton takes a quick look into 4, but back filters back in behind the McLaren. Like these guys, they're battling for 1 point. That's what you're watching here, viewers, a battle for a single World Championship point. And look at the scrap they're having over it. This is fantastic.
There's a big scrap a few places down the road, and I think that's about 6th, 7th area. So I'm going to quickly work my way down there quickly and see who this battle is.
While you do that, Hamilton going into turn 9, the hairpin, had a slightly better run, and also big mistake made by Stewart that went too wide. Hamilton now fancies a chance into turn 10. This will be a tricky move if he can make this work. Stewart goes slightly over the inside by the looks of it. Just retains the position, but Hamilton now is going to look through turns 11 and 12 into 13. Can he get the better traction? No, he's off the track slightly. That's going to open the door for Reese down the DRS. As we get down here, DRS will be available, of course, to both Reese and Hamilton. Flat goes wide open, and Reese wants a chance here. Oh, look at this. This is Mika Hakkinen, Schumacher over Ricardo Zonta. And Reese has got a great chance going on the outside of the final corner. Can he make this stick? That was spectacular there. What driving! Well, Hamilton's got the DRS, heading out towards the turn 1 now. Hamilton's got DRS to get straight back past him, and Reese is going to lose out immediately. Is Stewart going to follow him through? Stewart Fast is doing the pair of them into turn 1, and he's made it stick. And meanwhile, Jambo's got it on the action. Down on the inside of Reese, and Hamilton... Reese and Jambo side by side through turn 2. Jambo takes it to 11th place now. And Stewart is getting all over the ball. Contact with him and Hamilton there. Stewart getting potentially a bit aggressive in his defence as Reese wants to look into turn 4. Jambo makes slight contact. Reese has to back out on a move. This is chaos here at the moment on track here in Kuala Lumpur.
There was a battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. I think a couple of them, which was Fearless and Jambo, pitted. Jambo's come out into this battle. I don't know where Fearless is. I think he's maybe a little bit further down the road. But these guys
has to back out and move there because Stewart got on the brakes a little early through turn 7, and that's compromised Hamilton because he's now got Jambo all over the back of him. And to make matters worse, Reese in the Lotus has not gone away. These guys are in a 4-car scrap for 9th and 10th places, and they're literally fighting like it's the final race at Interlagos where a win will take you to the championship. Heading into turns 11 and 12 and 13, Hamilton's got a good run, and Stewart makes a mistake that's a little wide there, but then uses the wider line to correct himself into the DRS zone. That's intelligent driving there. And meanwhile, Jambo with a DRS flap open on the back of his teammate Hamilton. But meanwhile, you're quite correct, there's a 3-car scrap earlier up the points. I'm going to have to cover that.
LGS has undercut Nutters and Andy to get second place. TRL Button's got the lead by about 5 or 6 seconds. Nothing massive, but he's certainly opening.
Stewart in the McLaren in 9. It's got Jambo with a DRS flap open, and Jambo's more than one change of direction there for Stewart, I think. As Hamilton now has a chance on Jambo's, their wheels are locked. Heading into turn 2, Jambo's just going to keep the position slide where Hamilton's gone wide, and he's going to use the extra traction at 3 to make his way through.
I'm getting confused. I swear I just saw LGS in the gravel, but I think it's a bit LGS getting a little bit of lag at this stage.
Oh, a little nudge there from Reese has hit Jambo, who's hit Hamilton. Reese has now got a chance to go around the outside of 5, but Jambo forces him right off the track. These guys have got the red mist on here. This is not F1. This is Destruction Derby on Race Driver Grid at the moment.
Let's get back there. Mr. Ice Cold Andy's made a really good move on Tom, but Tom is on very dead tyres. Velexity is a net 5th. He's doing a good job. Bobbitt's in net 6th, with Fearless just behind him. He's on the option tyres. And we've got, this is the battle that you've been following, Pete, and we've got Stewart.
Yeah, Jambo looking at a chance at the back of his teammate into turn 10. But you'd be a very brave man to make a move through there. But even so, Hamilton's made a mistake. That's going to compromise him badly through 11 and 12 and 13. They go over the high-speed chicane. Jambo's have to slightly back out of the move there to avoid hitting his teammate. Oh, now he's got wide to make things worse. Jambo's got ahead of his teammate. And Reese is now going to be side-by-side with Hamilton, heading towards the final hairpin corner. And both cars will be looking to get DRS on Jambo. Reese on the outside, fancying the karting line. Hamilton defends to the middle of the track. Forces Reese the long way round, and Reese has to back out on the move. Heading down towards turn 1. Both guys have got DRS open as they look at the back of Jambo. And meanwhile, up ahead, another car in the pits is about to come out in the middle of all this. That's Tom 65 in the Mercedes.
So Tom 65 is on fresh tyres, but he's found himself probably in the worst place to have fresh tyres.
Definitely, because Reese 26
cars,
almost
Mr. Indigo is right behind them now. So
Tom 65 fancies to make no prisoners here, trying to go around the outside of turn 3, but up ahead we've got another scrap. Tom 65 cuts to the inside towards turn 4, as Stewart has been passed by ex-Lewis Hamilton down towards turn 4 itself. Jambo now has a great chance here to break away, because Hamilton going through turn 5 and 6 over the back of Stewart. Jambo's ahead, but wider line being taken, and Stewart goes off the track. Hamilton has to weave right to avoid hitting him.
Whoa, what a move!
Turn 7 and 8, wow!
Whoa.
What a move that was from Hamilton!
I've got about 10 contenders for overtakes a week. We're only 17 laps, and these guys are providing the action that we're all looking for from this division.
How did he make that work? That looked like he was driving into a disappearing wedge, like Senadin on Prost in 1990 at Suzuka, and somehow he made it stick. Good God, what driving!
I thought NMR Mr. Indigo was going to have a quiet race after his early incident. Well, he's right on the back of Tom 625. He's on fresh tyres at the back of this group, so just goes to show these guys are so competitive and so close. There's a little bit of a gap at the front.
2011 at Canada. Never ever give up. As Reese has gone into the pits again on lap 7.
Does not surprise me. He needs to get out. He had the options on that stint and did not make them work. He was stuck behind people the whole stint and fails to make them work.
Mr. Indigo looking at the back of Tom 625 as well as turn 1.
Yeah.
But Tom 625 has just got the position there to retain that. But Tom 625 now is on fresh tyres, but he's caught up in an absolute war zone. Absolute dogfight he's walked out into here, and I think he's trying to do the high ground and sit back, let the guys war, and let's see if they'll make a mistake. As Hamilton looks at the back of his teammate Jambo, battle for 8th and 9th here, as both guys have been released, having got past Stewart. The McLaren driver was evidently holding them up, because they've now got a gap of about 2 seconds on him.
Right, so Nutters is proving to be quicker than TRL Button in this stint. He's closing that gap. He's actually got past LGS, and by some margin now, as LGS looks like he's going to struggle, and here goes Mr. Ice Cold Andy. He might have a look around the outside. No, he's going to get a much better drive onto the long straight. In fact, makes the move before then. He's going to get the DR. Oh no, what? LGS.
Ice Cold Andy's got the DRS now, but he's looking at the back of the LGS. Heading towards the final corner. LGS is going to try and filter in here and take advantage under DRS, I reckon. Look up there from LGS, pushing his tyres.
No.
He's on the straight line. DRS flap open. Yeah, there is a little bit of lag actually. He's just jumped slightly and now he's just blasted past Andy. But hang on, Andy Walker was slightly getting ahead of him, and Andy's not going to give up. Into turn 1 as he made this stick by undercutting him here. LGS trying to drive around the outside of turn 2, giving him a better line through 3. But it looks like Andy's just made a spectacular late braking move there. Great driving.
Good driving from Andy then. Hopefully now he's on the options, he can start to break away from LGS. But LGS is having one really, really strong race. He's doing well.
He showed last season that he's got quite a bit of pace when he gets down to him. A lot of the time he gets caught up in accidents or has poor stints. So far in Malaysia he's not done that. But of course there's one more variable potentially in the air, and that's the weather. If it rains later on, who knows what's going to happen. These guys have got to get out there. Well, no, we don't need it, but it might happen anyway. As XRL Button goes very, very wide there, completely got out of shape. Meanwhile, down in PA, Hamilton actually got past Jambo. A move that I didn't catch on my screen there, but Jambo in P9 now.
But these Saubers are working together and they're actually starting to break away from this pack of 4, including Indigo and Tom 625, I think.
Jambo fancies the move at turn 9, but Hamilton's just got the high ground. Meanwhile, down in P10, we've got Tom 625 now. The fresh tyres helping him, and he's got Stewart behind him. Meanwhile, NMR Mr. Indigo in the Red Bull fancies a chance at having a go at the back of these, but Reese 24, he must be seething with himself after the great drive in Australia. He's really not had the best of races so far here in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, yeah, we've still got another 36 more laps, and some of that, a third of that, will be in the rain. Maybe even half of that will be in the rain, so
DRS from NMR Mr. Indigo fancies a chance at Stewart here. Meanwhile, up ahead of them, I believe we've got both the Saubers very, very close. Tom 625. Yeah, we've got Jambo, who's got the DRS flap on, but he's not slipstreaming behind his teammates, surprisingly. Going to have the longer braking distance, and he's actually backtail the move. RT Motors in play here.
Well, they need to do something, because I think they're hindering their own pace now.
Oh, and then Mr. Indigo fancies a late move on Stewart there, but Stewart started around the outside of turn 2. But Mr. Indigo fancies a look into turn 3, down towards turn 4, they're side by side. Mr. Indigo just slightly behind the McLaren driver. Can he sell him a dummy into turn 4? No, Stewart's just got the high ground.
But
goes wide off the track, big mistake. Mr. Indigo fancies the outside of turn 5 into 6. This will be very, very brave. He realises he's not got the grip and backs out of the move. On the chat box, you're all being very, very quiet. With all the racing that's going on, not surprised, but get your comments out there. We want to hear from you.
Does anyone think that someone can knock TRL Button off the win? He's currently got about a 6 or 7 second lead. It's not really changing. It just changed towards the end of the first stint, start of the second, when LGS got ahead of
Nutters. One word for you. Rain. Ice Cold Andy had a similar lead last week in Melbourne. What happened there?
I know. You won't want to remind him. I think that's sort of like scarred his memory now of that fantastic win the season before.
It's still about 5 seconds of drift at TRL Button. Nutters is doing a great job here in the Williams. Really. NMR Mr. Indigo headed towards the hairpin turn at the final corner. DRS available. He's not committed to the move there because he's seen so many drivers get blasted back past. And he's saved a lot of his curves to help him. Great intelligent driving from Indigo. DRS open. That's a chance on the outside down towards turn 1. They're going to be side by side. Question is, can he get in front and keep ahead? Stewart pucks to the inside, goes wide. Indigo tries to cut back past him into turn 2. Stewart's got the tighter line though, and Stewart's just been able to retain position, but look at the closeness. Indigo's got here. He's going to have the DRS as Reese 26 has retired. He's given up after only a third distance.
I think it was just errors. I mean,
Oh, Stewart's made a mistake at turn 4. And Mr. Indigo looking to go to the outside turn 5. This time he's not giving up. He's committed. Their wheels are rubbing. But Mr. Indigo filters in through turn 6 to make that position work. Great driving there.
Right, well, I will try and get a race in once this quietens down a little bit, which it looks like.
Well, good luck with that, because up ahead in P6, we've got a bit of a scrap going on here now, because XRL Fearless is all over Velocity. XRL Fearless on the auction tire. Velocity on the prime, it goes a little wide at turn 14 onto the DRS straight. The flat goes open and the curve is deployed. XRL Fearless fancies taking 5th place here. They're side by side towards the final corner. XRL Fearless is easily going to be ahead. Can he stop the car? Velocity tries to go the inside karting line there to try and cut back past him. He's not got the best of exits. DRS have used, curves deployed. Is he going to be able to get the overspeed down towards turn 1? XRL Fearless is just ahead at the moment, and Fearless looks like he's going to retain position into turn 1. But Satan goes a little wide. Velocity fancies a chance into turn 2. But Velocity's just not got the grip, and Fearless takes the position.
Well, I'm still on board with this Sauber team battle. This is close.
We've said it many times before, but how many times have we seen the drivers in the F1 division treating this like a touring car race, where every single lap it's slipstream pass, slipstream pass. These guys are giving us a masterclass in that at the moment. There's Hamilton now in P9, got his teammate Jambo ahead of him, and up in the middle of this in P7, driving very, very quietly, is XRL Button in the Ferrari, doing his keeping things nice and consistent as Velocity in the Lotus now going to have a great chance on the back here of XRL Fearless, and for turn 9, Fearless goes a little wide, but Velocity gets a little bit of a wiggle as he gets the traction down, really struggling for grip in that Lotus.
Yeah, I'm now on board with this, so Velocity just a little bit off the back of Fearless. He should just about get the DRS down straight. He's got a lot of curves stored as well, so he may be looking to close right up on this DRS and make the move.
Okay, viewers, I'm going to need your help for this one. BHA Cap and White has said, since I've joined and started watching XRL, this is the best race by far. Are there any other races in the back catalogue worth watching? Oh, good God, here we go. Last season's Malaysia race in Season 6 was an absolute classic in Formula 1.
That was a good one, yeah. I mean, I quite enjoyed the Belgium race last season. I quite enjoyed the Australia race on Season 6 as well. We should have videos of those on the YouTube channel.
Singapore from Season 5 was a classic as well. That was a very close race. Exactly. We also had Japan in Season 5. Season 6 we also had a cracking race in America as well.
That was a top race
in
as
America.
Well, yeah. That was, I have to say, the GP2 division as well around America is one of my favourite races to watch as well. That may be worth having a look at. That's on the YouTube channel. There are some corkers on there.
And again, for all you people watching on both streams, if you've got any that stick in the memory that we haven't brought, put them in the chat box. And whether it's from F1 or F5000 or even the opening race for T6, whichever you thought was a classic, get your comments out there, because there's nothing like us digging into the archives, and who knows, maybe that's a feature we might be able to bring in later.
I think that'd be good. I think that would be good. I mean, we haven't really done enough seasons to do it, but you know, very sooner, well, not enough seasons with the live streaming kit, let's say. But we are getting there. Give it another season, and you can easily reel back a couple of seasons of videos, maybe even more for some of the other divisions. They are available, they are there, and I mean, yeah, something that would be great to do.
Now, interestingly, this sour battle between Hamilton and his teammate Jambo's hotted up a little bit, because P8, Tom 625, is now in DRS range, and ahead of them, XRL Button is not far away from it either. We might suddenly see a 4-car scrap for P6 here, as Hamilton holds back into the final corner. Meanwhile, as I say, that Bottas dives into the pits in the Ferrari. Well, that's going to release the Saubers and Tom 625. DRS deployed as Lewis Hamilton makes a chance to dive up to the first corner hairpin. Is he going to be able to make sure he stops himself? Can Jambo cut around the outside? A little bit of wheel rubbing there. And Tom 625 fancies looking at the pair of them into turn 2.
Oh, I feel for the Williams, who has actually just left the pit.
It's Ice Cold Andy.
It's either him or Nutters. It is Mr. Ice Cold Andy. Oh, that's a horrible place to be. He's got to pass three drivers that are battling. It just shows what luck can do for you, can't it? Luck just gets in the way sometimes. It's Tom 625 now looking at the back of Jambo, who took a little bit too much curb on the inside of turn 4, possibly went all 4 tyres off there.
lost a lot of grip in the process, going through 5 and 6. Tom 625 and the Mercedes. Oh, all drivers pushing very, very wide there. The high-speed nature of that corner makes it so easy to overcook it. Going through 7 and 8, and once again, Tom 625 going a little wide there. You've got to be careful of track extending. If you're seen doing that too much, you can get yourself penalties, reprimands, and worse. You've got to watch your driving where you can, drivers, or you might face the wrath of the stewards.
I will be starting my reviews in the second part of this race on track extending, so I will be starting in a couple of laps.
In the meantime, Tom 65's lost a bit of ground for turns 12 and 13 there. The high-speed chicanes evidently really struggling, and right now behind him, Ice Cold Andy in the Williams is going to want to get past this lot very, very quickly. The last thing he wants to do, if he wants any chance of getting back into the title hunt and defending the championship he won last season in XRL, is being able to... Oh, meanwhile, we've got... Hamilton's dived in, so that's one driver out of the way. That makes things a little easier for Andy, but he's got Tom 625 ahead of him, and he's proven himself to be absolutely no slouch whatsoever in race trim. Heading down towards turn 1, DRS open, as Ice Cold Andy fancies a great chance, gets on the brakes nice and late. They're side by side, Tom 625 thinks about diving at the inside of 2, but that was made to look very, very easy from Andy there.
He made that extremely late. I mean, he was so far back, and look at that, he's made about half a second gap in just a couple of corners.
We saw Jensen Button do exactly the same thing for Braun in 2009 at Interlagos on the likes of Sebastian Buemi and Kazuki Nakajima. It's all about having faith in the car, and Ice Cold Andy certainly seems to have that at the moment. As they go through 5 and 6, he's looking at the back of the Sauber. I believe that's Hamilton. No, it's actually Jambo who's ahead of him. Jambo stayed out for the extra lap. Goes a little wide through 7 and 8, and Andy's going to have a chance to look down here into turn 9. Is he going to jump left? Yes, he is. He's jumped left. Is he going to be able to make this stick on the inside? We saw Lewis Hamilton doing some Kimi Raikkonen in 2007, and that was superbly done from Andy. Crucial passes, all done clinically.
Yep, now he can really focus on getting the hammer down and go for it now. But as we're approaching the halfway point, viewers, what have been your favourite moves of this race? Because they'll be helping us to pick out which one should go in overtakes of the week for next week. We've got plenty of nominees just from tonight's race alone.
Well, in the meantime now, Tom 625 has got the DRS open on the back of the Sauber of X-Jumbo. We've had, meanwhile, Dan, something I'm not used to say on the stream, we've actually had a driver application in the middle of the stream. So, TRL Gutierrez, best thing you can do is go to the website, xiteracingleague.com. I'll put a link in the chat box for you. And what you can do from there, of course, is be able to check it out, sign up, introduce yourself. We've got space for you, we'll try and slot you in.
Oh, we've got a bit of lag from Andy here. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not good for Andy. I think his connection might be going. That doesn't make sense.
Well, Tom 625 now has been passed by XRL Button there. Heading on towards turn 4. XRL LGS, sorry. So LGS in the Ferrari is now behind Jambo. And he's not lost too much time to Ice Cold Andy. LGS showing he actually has the pace here in Kuala Lumpur.
Where is Mr. Ice Cold Andy on your screen?
I'll just get back to this. I'll about to check a message.
Is where I have him.
I've got Ice Cold Andy going through turn 9 now, with Jambo only a few hundredths of a second behind him.
Oh, what? I've got a completely different picture then.
Oh no, not this, not now! I've got X-Jambo currently chasing after Ice Cold Andy, who's going through 12 and 13. Jambo on the prime tyres, looking through turn 14. It's the deal. Oh, now he's left ahead slightly.
Okay, now that's sorted out. I mean, he was running P7 for me, and now he's... okay, that's right. So he's correct now. He's about a couple of seconds ahead, would you say, down the straight? Yeah.
Yeah.
A second and a half.
This is what we have to work with, viewers, week in, week out. Meanwhile, going through the hairpin corner, XRL LGS is going to have the DRS available on the back of X-Jambo. Heading out towards turn 1, flat wide open, but at the same time, Jambo's got the same advantage caused by the lag on Ice Cold Andy. And meanwhile, we've also got the Nutters in the Sister Williams, who's come out behind Ice Cold Andy in P5 as Jambo goes wide. XRL LGS cuts through, and right now Nutters is under big pressure because in P6, Tom 625's all over him.
Oh, Nutters is he's coming out in the wrong positions today. He could have really put the fight to TRL Button, but he's just come out in the wrong points at the wrong times today. He's in a bit of a scrap here for second place. well, pit drivers need a pit. I'm surprised Jambo's stayed out as long as he has. LGS is fighting for position with Andy, but Andy's connection is not great at the best.
It's causing gremlins for everybody as Nutters tries to get closer to the back of X-Jambo. Meanwhile, a couple of messages sent to me through Xbox Live. First of all, TRL Gutierrez says thank you and great commentary. Well, thank you for your comments. Meanwhile, BHA Cap and Waiter says an idea for improving the show. Can't you stream classic races live on Saturday and Sunday night on the streams? It's an interesting idea. Put full races up for people to watch from the archive. Is that possible?
Well, maybe. Yeah, we can do that. I can easily download the video and play it a couple of hours before whilst I'm sorting some things out for the streams. I'm happy to do that. It's just a matter of everyone. If everyone can go through our YouTube channel and pick out some right belters, then we'll be happy.
One meanwhile, DRS flap over going into the final corner ahead of Jambo. Jambo tried to respond. They've been making contact and Jambo has gone into the pit. I think Jambo was just trying to drive at maximum speed through the pit lane and unfortunately got caught out. Now, as a result of this, behind him, Notice 91 in P3 now, and then we've got a bit of a scrap down the main straight as Ice Cold Andy is under pressure here, and has got Tom 625 right behind him. Tom 625 being pursued very quickly by Velocity.
No.
Ice Cold Andy's now ahead, now behind
Andy's
Nutters.
got into P2. He's now P2.
What's going on? Seriously, what's going on?
He's lagging for like half a lap really slowly, and he just jumps back into position. It's quite difficult, but no one's really getting affected at the moment. But what will be interesting to see is TRL Button is yet to pit for his stop. Where will he come out?
He's done one stint on 28 laps. Are you serious?
Pretty sure. Let's have a look. That can't be right.
No
surely.
chance.
No, he has done his second stop, so boy, he's built a big gap up, you know.
Well, I think part of the problem is because Ice Cold Andy came out in the middle of that chain between the likes of Hamilton, the likes of Jambo, the likes of Stewart, and that really compromised him. He had to make a lot of late braking moves. He'll have had his tyres affected by dirty air. Look at Nutters 91. He's come out totally adrift of his teammate behind XRL, yes. So while these guys have all been getting closer in the wars, he's had the almost Sebastian Vettel approach. He's gone out in front slightly. That's given him the clean air when it matters, and he's just gained a massive advantage as a result.
Yeah, because I think by lap time, these guys are not far away from TRL Button this week. It's just been the matter of he's just been able to get out ahead and he's been able to dictate the pace, whereas these guys have come out from pit stops, being held behind each other, and they've been battling for position. Like here, Nutters and LGS fighting for the last podium place.
Yeah, Nutters 91 diving up into turn one. His last little late breakers here. LGS tries to do the karting line to sweep back underneath him at turn two. LGS and the Ferrari fancies his chances, but Nutters 91 has been able to make that stick. I mean, you mentioned the lead that TRL Buttons had here. We've got Ice Cold Andy. He's currently going through turn 4. I mean, TRL Buttons way out. He's already gone through turn 8. Down towards the hairpin at turn 9. That's a good, like, 15 seconds at least.
LGS
more like 20
is
seconds.
phoning me up right now.
Well, LGS will have to wait because we're on air.
Hiya, what's happening?
Something like LGS looking at the back of Nutters 91, heading for turns 7 and 8, but he's lost a lot of time here. Seems to have had possibly a lag spike, or maybe we've just seen the connections start to filter each other out here. Tom 65 doing a very good race for Mercedes in P5, and then we've got Velocity in P6. Getting a little out of shape to turn 9 now, Velocity. Nearly went off the track, but managed to arrest it. XRL Fearless P7. Then down in P8, XRL Bullets in the Ferrari, driving a quiet and fair race. P9, ex-Lewis Hamilton, badly affected by all the pit stops. And then in P10, we've got ex-Jambo. So the two Sauber drivers are at the foot end of the points. Enemar Mr. Indigo in 11th. Has Cole's very behind him. And that's your rundown of the positions so far.
Well, I just spoke to LGS on the phone, who's just basically verifying what we saw with Mr. Ice Cold Andy. He's not best pleased. But I think, looking at it, it's actually all been sorted out now. I think it's just when the sun gets quite close to Mr. Ice Cold Andy will change.
I mean, so that's nice multitasking from LGS there to be able to drive and make a phone call at the same time. I remember Red Bull said, one of the things that Red Bull said in one of their silly ideas driving up the season is that now a lot of teams have got LCD screens in the cars. Maybe drivers should be forced to send tweet messages on Twitter halfway through the race.
Yeah, I think that might not be the best idea that Red Bull had.
Pastor Maldonado getting involved in a duel. About to make a pass, smash. I've crashed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't keep kicking a guy while he's down, but I just can't help it with Pastor Maldonado. A question for TRL Gutierrez is asked, who is my team and why? Well, in real life, my favourite team is probably McLaren, even though I know they had a terrible season last year, and they're not exactly had the best season so far this one either. But I just like the idea that a team have been able to sort of take the fight to the likes of Ferrari and the likes of Renault and all these big teams in the past, and never really been a major road manufacturer. They've been like the last of the real competitive privateer teams. With the drop-off from the likes of Williams, although they're having a resurgence at the moment, it's nice to see one of the old guards still able to keep the fight. See, what about you, Dan? What's your favourite team?
Oh, you don't need to ask or anything. It's a big fat Ferrari for me. Ferrari and Fernando. Well, I have to say, you've been in F1. You've been in F1, or you've had a lot more F1 knowledge than I have. And I sort of grew up with the whole Michael Schumacher dominating.
So it's 91, sorry to cut across you, looking at the side of Ice Cold Andy.
Easy.
Going into turn 1, and he's got the braking distance, but can Andy undercut him? No, Andy's had to filter back. Right, carry on.
I was going to say pre-race, they've actually said to each other they're not going to fight, and that looked quite an easy move. And that is on the options, he's starting to build the gap already. But going back to what I said, I grew up with the Michael Schumacher era, and I suppose you could have said I was a bit of a glory hunter, but I wouldn't say that now. I'm more a Ferrari fan more now than ever. Fernando Alonso is a great driver, I think he's the best driver on the grid. Quite closely matched by Lewis Hamilton, but Caesar's Ferrari, I would say Fernando.
Well, I mean, all you viewers out there watching, I mean, if you've got your perspective on you or your favourite team is and why, get them in the chat box. We'll try and give you a shout out on the stream. Because let's say, I mean, one thing about Ferrari is there are many of the classic drivers for them, the likes of Nigel Mansell, the likes of Alan Prost, Niki Lauda, Marcus Schumacher. You mentioned the modern era like Fernando Alonso. So they're definitely a marquee team in terms of that. But for me, the great team from Woking all the way. So, Lewis Hamilton going through turn 9, looking at the back here of Velocity, who's trying his best in the Lotus to carry the team, having seen Reese retire early on, about 10 laps ago. Hamilton's got a good run through turns 11 and 12 here, which got the DRS down towards the final corner.
The Fearless is quite close in P6 to the 5th place. Who is that in the Merc? Is that it's Tom 65. He's having a good race. I think he might have to pit a bit earlier than these guys behind him, but Fearless is looking like he's going to get moved done. He's on the option tyre, so he's having a really, really good performance, Tom 65.
Oh, mistake there from Velocity. Got really bad wheel slip out of the final corner, and Lewis Hamilton with DRSs all over the back of him like a rash. The result, he's going to move slightly ahead towards turn 1, but Velocity's got the inside line heading into 2 here. Velocity being compromised a little bit, and Hamilton just rings that car around the outside to muscle his way through. Great driving.
These guys are so closely matched, it's unreal. I think this is shown, I think the first 2 races that we've both commentated on, because Australia was a good race as well.
Yeah, very close action all the way through the fields.
Exactly. This season looks to be very, very close. I mean, the TRL Button was just a little bit slow. That would help. But, no, it's so close to a lot of these guys. I mean, Alexi last season, you would have put him that he won a couple of races in the F1 division. Looks like he's playing for night at the moment. Everyone's got upping their game.
We all have different areas of our seasons where we do better, so who knows? When we get to the likes of Catalonia or the likes of Monte Carlo, who knows? He might suddenly be up there, it's hard to know. Meanwhile, TRL Gutierrez has flipped things around. First of all, saying that his favourite team also is McLaren. He's actually said, who's your favourite driver and why? Well, I've got 2 answers for this, historical and current. Historically, there's only one driver for me, and that's the great Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
And my absolute icon, and like Lewis Hamilton, when I'd heard that he passed away at Imola, I was inconsolable for hours, as I sort of heard my icon had passed on. In terms of historical, he's my favourite driver, but in terms of the current grid, I'd probably say my current favourite driver is actually Nico Hulkenberg, because I like the fact that someone who's one of the new drivers, one of the guys who's early around through on the scrappy of it by Williams, has crawled his way back into the grid and really shown what he's capable of, and really shown he can mix it with the big guns, regardless of the machinery he's got underneath him.
And regardless of the funds as well, he has got the level of money that the mid-pack teams need, and he is constantly getting a driver outperforming the car and teammate. He is one of my favourite drivers, but of course Fernando Alonso for me. But as you say, historically, Senna. I believe Sky are celebrating a whole week of Senna for the 20th anniversary. Isn't that right? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I think this Wednesday evening. I mean, I'm not got Sky itself, but I do follow David Croft on Twitter, so I see a few things coming up about it. And I think it's on Wednesday evening. There's actually what does look like quite a harrowing experience. Is that Damon Hill actually goes back to Imola, talking about the fact that he was teammate to Senna on that black day in the sport. So that looks pretty heart-wrenching. And if you got Sky, then you got Sky F1. That'll be worth watching. I'm sure to hear the inside story from someone who was there on that day.
I will record it because I probably won't watch it at the time because I'll be streaming F5. But I will definitely be recording that and watching it over my breakfast the next day, I think.
Interesting way to bring in the new day. Meanwhile, Stewart has just been lapped, I believe, by Tom 625 in the Mercedes. No, actually, he's just caught to the back of him. Tom 625, maybe he's gone in for a pit stop here, but he's down in 10th place.
About a lap ago, just pit.
XRL Stewart's now close right up to the back of him.
I'm quite surprised, I thought we'd get the rain pretty soon, but the cloud cover hasn't really changed. It's still quite high cloud. It doesn't look dark.
Velocity is in the pits for Lotus. He's going to come out more than likely behind Tom 625 and Stewart here. So it's a great opportunity for you see some wheel-to-wheel action here. Tom 625 goes through, as does Stewart. So these two are both ahead of Velocity, but Velocity is going to be on fresh rubber. Give it 2 laps, and we're going to have a 3-car scrap for the bookend of the points.
Talking about a scrap, there is the beginnings of one for 7th, 6th, and 5th. Oh god.
Yeah, Hamilton's getting closer to the back.
He's getting close to the back. Is that Bobbitt's or is that LGS? It's Bobbitt's and Ferrari, and then Fearless just in front of him. So these guys are all pretty close on track. They're not really close, but I'd give it a couple of laps. I think the guys who have the slightly fresher tyres will close up. But Lewis Hamilton's had a difficult race today. He's been stuck behind so many people. And, 7th place is decent at the moment. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, it's fighting one with that car and dragging it along as best as he can. But let's say, I mean, the people ahead of him, like XRL Button, have been driving very consistent races, and consistency is key, especially over a long distance.
We haven't talked about Roberts at all, but he has gone under the radar. He could pick up some bigger points from this. Let's take him up with the Australian race.
Well, it's not too far away from XRL Fearless in the Red Bull. Fearless is currently in P5. Meanwhile, behind XRL Button, we've had someone dive into the pits. That's ex-Lewis Hamilton. So Hamilton's going to come out around about where Tom 625 and that is as well, I reckon. Because Hamilton's just come up to his pit box now. Going behind him, Tom 625's just gone through the hairpin corner at the end. And Stewart has fallen away from the back all of a sudden. But Tom 625, he's really lost ground somewhere on track. And Hamilton's going to come very, very close here. Hamilton just leaving the pits now, but Hamilton's just going to come out behind him. And meanwhile, he's going to be side by side. Velocity hits his tyres there. That was as close as you'd want it. Hamilton in P11 just avoids spinning him out. That was so close.
It is unreal these guys fighting for P11 like this. I mean, these guys are, they're so much better than I am. These guys are fighting for the vote towards the points. It's unreal.
Well, BHA Cap and White has put 2 teams forward as his favourite. It says easily his favourite is Williams, aside from the horrid 2004 with the walrus nose. 2013 called. It wants its 4 points back. That was their worst season by a long way. But I also reckon that when Jordan were around, they were also very, very cool. And the 1-2 at Spa was fantastic. Well, the 1-2 at Spa was great, of course, because of the fact it was in the rain and after that horrendous 14-car pile-up. Just goes to show what you can do when you've got the right drivers who are able to keep their heads screwed on. But ex-Lewis Hamilton fancies a go around the outside of Velocity, but he's gone off the track. He's going to have to yield that place, and Velocity trying to force his way back through. They lock tyres on the side pods there. Hamilton just stays ahead. DRS available now to Velocity, heading down towards the final corner. And meanwhile, Stewart is also under big pressure from these two. Velocity looks at the back of Hamilton, is weaving left and right. Velocity gives him the position for now, but he's going to have the DRS as Stewart makes a big mistake coming out of the corner. Hamilton therefore goes to the outside. Stewart's weaving all over the track at the moment. He's got to be careful. He's not seen as making more than one change of direction here. And Hamilton's backed out of the move. Velocity fancies a chance at the pair of them. He's had to back out of the move. Stewart He's now pushing on the outside. Yep, just coming in at turn 2, so the rain's come out. Now, how long is it going to be before the track is wet enough for those intermediate tyres to work? Stewart, meanwhile, fancies to go at the back of Hamilton, heading into turn 4. Stewart gets a little squirrely under braking at 4 there. Almost goes over the inside corner, but has to back out on the move. Velocity's got a great run on Stewart as a result. Heading into the hairpin at turn 9. He's got on the inside line. Stewart was forced onto the marbles and goes off the tracks. Well, at least he got out of the way. He got completely out of the way there. Oh, TRL Gutierrez saying, legend at commentary, I hope you get an F1 one day. Believe me, I think that's my dream job. But in the meantime, Velocity in B10, looking at the back of Hamilton. He's lost a bit of ground there, though. I think because of the fact he was caught up with Stewart, that's really compromised his line. Tom 65 quietly going along in P8 now, and he's not one pitted, so those tyres should hold on until the wet weather arrives. Jambo, meanwhile, in P7, has started catching up to XRL Button. Now, could someone like Button, someone like Jambo, be the big gainers here? If the track gets slightly wet enough, could they undercut the field and find themselves battling for the podium? The kind of driving that we have seen from the past, where the likes of Nick Heidfeld in 2008 at Spa, for instance, ended up going from 8th to 3rd because of just calling the intermediate call right, whereas the likes of Kimi Räikkönen crashed out and Lewis Hamilton ended up tiptoeing round 40 seconds slower. P6, meanwhile, XRL Bobbert's being followed by ex-Jambo, who's not that far behind the Ferrari driver. With the rain coming, the drivers might be taking a little more conservative now. When you got the water on track, not only do you lose grip, but if you're running very close to the ground, it's quite possible that you'll find yourself aquaplaning off. Big Dan, where are you on track at the moment?
Until they pit, but we've got someone in the pits right now.
When you called Stewart's tyre wear before, he's now down in P12 behind NMR Mr. Indigo. He's lost a lot of positions here. And Lewis Hamilton in P9 is going to overtake LGS, who's gone for a set of option tyres. He's not blinked. Well, I mean, we saw Ayrton Senna at Donington in 1993. Sometimes you had to pit a million times in order to win the race. Look at Jenson Button in 2011 at Montreal. You can make a lot of pit stops and still get great things. He's got fresh tyres now, fresh grip, when the grip is starting to fall away on the track. The best time to have fresh tyres is now, when the grip levels will be ever decreasing. So he might possibly have gained a march on the likes of Ice Cold Andy and that, who might be trying to eke out these tyres, and if they're just falling away, they could lose precious time and it all be made up in the pit stop.
Definitely keep an eye on LGS then, because it is probably still another couple of laps until the pit stops, and if you do get it ever so wrong, this track is difficult on the best of days. So
but you have to remember as well, this is a long track as well, so if you make that call by one lap wrong, you could easily lose 30-40 seconds purely by the race distance you've got to cover. Meanwhile, ex-Jambo has now got the DRS on the back of LGS's teammate, XRL Button. He took a quick look into the final corner, Jambo there, thought better of it, but when he went offline, kicked up quite a lot of spray off the tyres. It looks to me like the outside rubber on the offline is getting a bit wet, and he's got DRS open. Jambo looking to go to the inside, down towards turn 1. Can he get the car stopped? As we've got a loss of grip here into turn 1, XRL Bobbers fancies to look around the outside, but Bobbers has not got the grip there, and Jambo is forced to onto the compromise line and takes 5th place. Very good driving. Heading into turn 4, though, XRL Bobbers in the Ferrari, looking at the back of Jambo.
Close there.
He's had to go off the track, I think. I think he was compromised so much by the spray and also by the loss of grip. He's had to go off the track to avoid hitting the
You can definitely tell that there's a clear racing line through the sweepers there. Even going into this double right here. If you get off there, I reckon it's not too nice now. Might only be a lap, this lap, next lap, they'll pit.
It's probably, we're not seeing any spray on the tyres yet. Usually, you see a little bit of spray being kicked off the slicks, and that's when you start to go in.
Yeah.
But when you're riding normally on board, you're not really seeing it. So it's one of those, it's a bit of a gamble as to when you go. Now, meantime, TRL Gutierrez has sent a message to me saying that Sundance says good luck to TRL Button. Well, he's in the lead at the moment. He's doing everything he needs to take back-to-back victories on the flyaway races. But we saw last week in Melbourne how if you get that tyres call wrong, you can lose everything. So it's all about strategy now as the rain falls here in Kuala Lumpur.
So TRL Button doing what Andy did last season and winning the first 2 races if he wins here. Shouldn't have really said that.
Yeah, commentators curse there, Dan. You might well have just gained the wrath of TRL Gutierrez and Sundance there with that one.
But yeah, if he does, he's emulated Andy's start from last season. Look what happened to him at the end. So let's see how. I've got a battle here between Jambo and the Red Bull. Fearless. Yeah,
and it's also getting very dark. Look at the racing line compared to the rest of it. You've seen a very, very dark line. Now might be else about Jack Jambo fans to build the inside of 4. Fearless has had to go wide. Oh, look at the tail slip Jambo got there. But he's going to have a line on the outside of 5. Can he find the grip through 6 in the rain? Unbelievably close. They touch wheels and Jambo goes through to 4th place. Fearless has to back out. Very aggressive, muscly driving there.
Yep, decent move there, but Jambo, all of a sudden, he overtook Bobbitt's, wasn't it? And then next lap, he's the one who's making...
Oh, Fearless goes very, very wide in the hairpin, and Bobbitt sweeps underneath as well. XRL Fearless has either lost confidence or lost grip here, because he's lost 2 moves in 2 turns.
Something tells me it's intermediate tyres.
It looks pretty close to me because you've seen a very big fat black
TRL
line in the middle of the track.
Lap, though. And Nutters is in. Nutters is in. So,
right, Nutters is the one to watch then because he's definitely possibly got a march here.
And he was going to go in, but he realised Nutters went in, so he didn't want to double stack. Oh, he's going to have to do another lap. So Andy again. Is this a mistake on the wet weather? I mean,
Roberts is in, and also is Jambo. Meanwhile, behind them, the other drivers are in. Fearless is in for 6th place. In P7, we've also got Tom625 in. He's very close to the back of Fearless, nearly hit the back of Fearless's Red Bull. And now we're going to see potential carnage here in the pits because there's about 7 drivers who've all come in at exactly the same time. Who's going to get held up here? Jambo is ahead of Roberts.
The Sauber's got double stacked.
So Hamilton's been badly compromised here. He's now way down as Tom625 is in P7. Down in P8 we've got XRL Fearless. He's lost out here because Tom625 was right behind him as we head out of the pit lane. Look at the spray that's being kicked up by these intermediate tyres. TRL Button, Ice Cold Andy. These guys could have been very badly compromised.
He nearly spun the car there. Oh, I'm watching TRL Button. It might be time to pit if you aren't.
Well, the question is how much time has he lost? Jambo in P5 has just gone through turn 4. Velocity is now in P4.
Not much.
And Nutters 91. In P3, now meanwhile in P2, Ice Cold Andy on the prime tyres, and he's easily going to lose out to Nutters 91. As for TRL Button, he is now in the box. He's probably just going to get away with this, but the question is, where's Ice Cold Andy going to filter in after it all? TRL Button's easily got this done, because Ice Cold Andy's not even up to the final corner, and Button's going to come out of the pits. He's timed this just about right. Andy is in. Now the question is, where's TRL Button going to come out in relation to Andy? Because Andy's going to lose a lot of time here, and I reckon Nutters 91 is going to easily jump him.
Oh, easily. That extra lap. Andy's tyres were struggling as it was anyway. So the next thing you're going to have
Velocity's missed the pit lane almost. Went over the grass to get in there. Evidently so little grip. Jambo's going to easily get past him, and he's dragging Bobbitt along for the ride. These guys have really shown the muscle here. XRL Bobbitt is going to be net P5 after all of this.
So Andy, he's exit the pits and he's at a clear 3rd place. So the Williams look like they're going to have a decent point score today, 2nd and 3rd as it currently stands. That gap between Button and Nutters has closed, but not by enough for Nutters, and it looks like a solid gap that the leader has.
You're really determined to try and put the commentator's curse here on TRL Button, it would seem. TRL Button being wished good luck by Sundance and KD1907, both saying you're legend. Well, he's done what he needed to. It looked like he might have lost time by staying out the extra lap, but has just had enough pace to pull away. LGS is the big loser in all this. He's down in 9th place with Velocity right behind him. Evidently, that extra stop for the options didn't give him the pace he needed to pull away.
So Pete, you're in the box tomorrow night, GP2. Your first
That's correct,
GP2
I will be with
stream
Chris
of the
Moss.
season with Chris Moss, yeah. Don't watch me tomorrow night. That would be a bad idea, because I think I'll be at the wrong end of the grid. But I think one to watch out for tomorrow night is the newcomer Psychic Taco. He looks very quick, bordering on top of the F1 division around this track.
Well, in the meantime, now Velocity's got great chances. LGS makes a big mistake at the penultimate corner there. Goes totally off the track slightly. I'm getting the DRS icon, but it's obviously not available. Don't do that comment, so that's confusing. Heading into the final corner, Velocity's going to have the outside line. LGS forces him wide. Oh, goes slightly off on the inside there. These two are going to be side by side down towards turn 1. Velocity's responding with his curves bar, and at the same time, LGS looks like he's deployed a little bit himself, trying to pull away. Heading down towards turn 1. Velocity's just too far adrift, I think. Gets on the anchors nice and late. He's going to try and drive around the outside of 1 and have the inside line for 2 in heavy rain. Is he going to be able to make this stick? Velocity and LGS still side by side. Velocity pretty much pushing LGS off the track here. LGS had to give up the move.
Wow, he had.
And I tell you what,
done.
I think someone's going to be going in for Wex very shortly. Look at the velocity of that rain.
It's all of a sudden just started falling, hasn't it, over the last sort of lap or so. It's really starting to come down
Look
quite
at
heavy.
look at the amount of spray that's being kicked up by the cars of Hamilton and XRL Fearless. I think this is if you want to steal a march, if you're someone at the back of the points, like Hedemar, Mr. Indigo, you've got nothing to lose. You might as well give it a go.
No one wants to make that call in the mid-pack, though. Here's Lewis Hamilton trying to get a move done on Fearless, who has slowly been working his way down the grid in the race. I mean, he was as high as 4th, I think, but he
might well have one of those cars where he's not got an adaptable setup. It might be perfectly tuned for bone dry conditions, which is fine when it's bone dry, but when it rains, you're absolutely snookered. And Lewis Hamilton now has got a great drive at the penultimate corner on the back of XRL Fearless, heading down towards the final corner. And look at that, you can barely see the racing line now, there's that much water on track. Is anyone going to have the balls to dive in for wets? These guys are the back of the point. No, someone is! Who's that who's dived in from 10th position? LGS, well, he's evidently cutting his losses here. Let's ride on board. I can't see him going for intermediates somehow. I think there's going to be a full set of wets here. Indeed they are. The wets go on, so I'm going to ride on board with LGS. I want to see if this gambit is going to pay off. He's down in 11th place now. He's out on the points. As far as that's concerned.
Stuart in the pits. Stuart's in, so he's also going for the wet.
Again, he's at the back of the points. He's got absolutely nothing to lose. He might as well go for it. LGS going into the first corner, and he's got the car stopped okay. I'm going to ride on board for a little longer. I want to see if the conditions are right, because they're actually starting to form puddles. LGS may have possibly stolen a march here. Going through turn 3 looks pretty reasonable to me, and LGS is keeping to the wet track at the moment to get moisture in the tyres. Good intelligent driving into the heavy braking zone of 4. And I believe he's done this. LGS might well have stolen a march.
Those tyres look pretty good and stuck to the track. TRL Button's got to do another lap on those
Velocity's made a big mistake at turn 9. Almost spun the car. And XRL Fearless is now looking at the back of, I believe that's Hamilton. Yep, in 7th place. So Hamilton in P7 has got XRL Fearless all over the back of him. Let's ride further forward. I want to know if any of the leaders are going to blink.
No, top 3 are all going for some more. Jambo in P4. What does he do? He stays out.
Jambo stays out. Bobbers has dived in. take the gamble that his teammate's done, and Tom625 follows him in, almost goes off the track though. Really got that wrong. Hamilton's dived in, and also so as well as 8th and 9th. Fearless is in alongside Velocity, so let's ride on board with LGS, because this will tell us if he's gained any much of a march on these guys. Indigo is in P10. LGS is only just coming around the final corner now. I'm not sure if this is going to work out here. LGS and the Ferrari is going to get himself into the points because Indigo's going to be behind him. But has he jumped anybody else? I don't think he has.
It's going to be awfully close.
Look how tight it's going to be to turn 1. Look at this, XRL Fearless. And he's got past Velocity.
He was doing so well until he took that extra pit stop for the dry tyres.
But again, we saw the leaders go through. Let's ride on board with the leaders because these conditions look absolutely horrible. And if the likes of Jambo and all that have not pitted, we might see someone like Bobbers getting a great chance.
Button is in, Nutters is still out, but he has not got to the pit lane yet. Andy's
in big trouble because he's in P3.
He is
the Jambo went off the track.
Jambo's in trouble from those that big pack of cars. We've got the top 3 and they've got a bit of a gap.
Nutters is now
really
in the pit.
Struggling there. Nutters is struggling, but he's in. So Nutters is in.
And Andy might actually be very happy about the mistakes he's made because that might have just got him far enough away from his teammate to avoid being double stacked. He might have called that absolutely masterfully. But look at how gingerly he's taking. Oh, and now he's led into the pit lane.
Okay. Oh, Jambo's in the grab.
Oh, Jambo, that's ruined this race. Jambo, no doubt about it, is going to lose out big time. Bobbers is going to sweep him through here. And Tom625 is getting close, as is Lewis Hamilton. Let's see where Hamilton goes through.
So, right, we've got 10 more laps left, and this should be the last pit stop that they make, assuming that there's no change in the weather.
Exactly, we saw how quickly it changed from intermediates to wets. Who's to say it won't change back?
Jambo is
Jambo's going to be out on the points.
Guys, he's 10th.
Fearless goes through. LGS is looking at the outside of Fearless into turn 1, and then Fearless makes us a little wide as a result of lack of grip. But LGS has to give up and filter into second place. In P9, Velocity's struggling in that Lotus, really ragging that car. Jambo has gone from P4 to P10. And all he had to do was follow Bobbitt into the pits.
All he had to do was not go in the gravel and he would have been ahead of these 3, dead for sure. That gravel cost him a lot, and that could cost him, 5 or 6 points, which every point is vital because he is second in the championship after the first round.
Exactly, it's all about making your points count.
Race to champions qualification, you've got to remember.
Right, Tom625 now is in P5. He's still retained position in that Mercedes. Former GP2 driver is really stacked up.
GP3 runner-up last season, and he is really showing that he can cut it at this top division.
GP2.
But he has impressed me.
Big mistake, XRL LGS. Got a great chance now as Fearless went a little too wide, going towards the penultimate corner. XRL LGS is all over the back of him, and Velocity fancies a move. Cheekily has to back out of it because of the bollard, but now LGS is going to have a great chance for a toe on the back of XRL Fearless.
He got an absolutely awful drive out of that corner, and Fearless made about 3 or 4 tenths up on the straight there.
Just goes to show what these conditions can do to your tyres, especially if you're not got. Oh, look at how much speed and spin he got out of that corner there. Very nearly went facing the wrong way. But XRL Fearless, now the brake light on that car flashing, he's absolutely nowhere near him. LGS has lost out on this one. Hamilton, meanwhile, still trying to close the gap to Tom625, who's showing good pace, considering that Lewis Hamilton was the runner-up in F1 Championship last season, and Tom625 is fighting him off. That's impressive. XRL Bobbitt, meanwhile, is P3. XRL Bobbitt is ahead of Ice Cold Andy.
Oh dear, what's happened to Andy? We haven't been watching this one. Bobbitt will be absolutely overjoyed with this. Oh, and Andy's gone in the gravel. Oh no, he's lapped
again, so that's come close.
Oh dear, but yeah, he's about 2 seconds ahead of
Well, I've
Andy,
received a message from
apparently.
TRL Magnuson. I'm sorry I didn't get around to this earlier. I was busy commentating the race. Saying rainy conditions can really affect drivers' strategies. Let's see how it goes over the rest of the race. But good luck to all the drivers and good luck to TRL Button. Meanwhile, on the screen, TRL Gutierrez asks, if you had a Mercedes or Force India contract or a Lotus contract, which one would you go with? Well, at the moment, if it would be Mercedes by a country mile, they're about 2 seconds faster than the field. But if it was the other two direct teams, Force India, because the Lotus, they've really shown themselves to be disappointing this season. But then again, now we're in the European leg of the season where the best teams' aerodynamic upgrades come, that Lotus might come back into play.
That Lotus did show small shoots of recovery last time out.
In China, definitely. In the hands of Roman Grosjean, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
In the hands of Pastor Maldonado, it was absolutely pathetic.
Maybe
Not only did he emulate
signed...
Hamilton's 2007 crash, but he then also had really a mediocre race. But LGS has got a great chance now on XRL Fearless, but the straight line speeding up Red Bull has suddenly picked up in the middle of the pit lane straight there. LGS trying to LGS off the track. He's made a critical mistake, and he's going to be out on the points now.
That's where he braked on the curb, locked his tyres up, and wow, all his work to get up is gone. He's now having to get past Jambo again.
Velocity now finds himself to P8 as XRL Fearless is P7. Now, meanwhile, Hamilton's lost time again on Tom 625, who's driving really well here. Ice Cold Andy is all over the place. His lag is absolutely unwatchable at the moment. He went off during turns 7 and 8 and is now back on the track. And meanwhile, ahead of him, XRL Bobbitt, showing that quiet consistency can bring you all the results in P3. Nutters 91 in P2, but in a sheer piece of dominance, TRL Button has already started the next lap. He's got at least 15 seconds on these guys. Absolutely amazing performance out front, and he will be looking strong to take back-to-back victories at Australia and Malaysia. And as we head into China, if he can keep on picking up the performances, it's going to be harder and harder for Ice Cold Andy to defend his crown, especially with Ice Cold Andy currently down in P4. Andy's dived into the pits.
Oh dear. And he's having
now this is, I'm going to ride on board. What's he thinking here? There's still quite a lot of puddles on track. He can't be thinking of intermediates, surely.
He's in for something.
I'm going to ride on board. I'm going to find out. He's now down in P6. Unbelievable, he's going for it. He's gone for the intermediate tyres.
Oh gosh. What have you done,
he's now down in P10 behind XRL LGS.
I'll be incredibly surprised if this works.
Oh, look how wide he's gone for turn 1. He's done it again. The second week in a row. He's called it catastrophically wrong with the tyres in the rain. And he's gone from a solid 4th place and 12 points all the way down to 10th. And he's being caught very quickly by NMR Mr. Indigo in the Red Bull, who's going to take that points position away from him. Ice Cold Andy has just kicked his own title chance right in the knackers. He's completely got that wrong. Gone off at turn 4. NMR Mr. Indigo, thank you very much. I'll have that. And Ice Cold Andy has very quickly become the reject of the race.
I don't understand how 2 weeks in a row he's made fundamental errors in his tyre choice. It was clearly not ready for intermediates.
Look at how many puddles there are at turn 9. Even a child will tell you it's too wet.
I don't understand. And he's
lost for words. I am completely lost for words.
You know, an F1 champion, okay, to make the error in one race, okay, yeah, you can afford to make the error. You know, it's allowable, but 2 races in a row, the same error has come out. I would say it's a lack of practice there, a lack of practice on the track, a lack of practice in the conditions, whatever you want to call it. It's not good enough, really.
Well,
man.
Unbelievably, we've got a second driver saying they want in. TRL Magnuson says he wants to be in. Well, guys, if you want to get involved, all you need to do is go to exciteracingleague.com. And we've got an introduce yourself forum there where you can submit yourselves, tell us your experiences. And as I say, we do social races. We're always looking for drivers. And who knows, we might be able to squeeze you into one of the leagues depending on where your pace is. As XRL LGS gets so close to the back of Velocity now, who got it all wrong at turn 2. And LGS had to back out of the move to avoid hitting him too hard. And I'll say, if you are watching through the Twitch app and you want the link, well,
That
you can
doesn't
simply give us.
surprise me.
I'll simply send you a message. As Ice Cold Andy retires from the race. Well, twice he's made this error in 2 successive weeks.
He's dropped 40 points because of it. He was winning in Australia. He was 3rd today. His 40 points is just thrown away in 2 weeks. We know what his connection's been like in previous seasons. So I mean,
but this is nothing to do with connection.
I know, but what I mean is to finish 2 races in a row, and for a driver of his caliber to score 0 or very little, when it actually comes to it,
well, it is going to be 0. He won't score any points.
Well, yeah, exactly. What my point is, though, is we know what his connection can be like. It's a bit temperamental. He will lose connection at some point this season, most likely. And then there'll be more races where he doesn't score. I mean, if he maximised or just drove like everyone else was on the track, he would be 40 points.
I mean, take a look at XRL Bubbers. XRL Bubba. Oh, Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, managed to move on Tom 65 down towards turn 1. No DRS this time. Going into turn 1, and next, Tom 65 has to watch Hamilton get the brakes down nice and smoothly there. Great driver from Hamilton to take 4th place. But as I was saying, take a look at XRL Bubbert. He's nowhere near Nutters, and he's nowhere near TRL Button. But he is in P3. He was at one point P9. He was absolutely nowhere, but what he did was drive consistently, smoothly, and drove to the conditions. And as a result, he's now staring down the barrel of a podium finish, which is thoroughly deserved. As TRL Button goes around the final corner to complete his latest lap, showing that driving to conditions and believing in your pace is what you need. Ice Cold Andy seems to be in a crisis at the moment. And I don't want to sound like a curse here, but how many times have we seen drivers in the Excite Racing League win a title and then completely throw out the window at the start of the next season?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You have to look at F1 Norwich the season before that. He had
Reached 26 before he took his sabbatical.
Yeah. Oh, as we have now Jambo under pressure from LGS. Oh, Jambo losing the back and losing traction up the hill. He's run wide, and that looks like LGS is through for P7. And now that's not over, because it looks like Valexi might be having a move. Who would think that someone like Valexi would be driving for P8 and 9? I'd expect him much higher than this. Jambo is
just got a chance now. Oh, sorry, there's a battle behind there. I was about to commentate on how Fearless and LGS, but Jambo's under big pressure. But he's started to pull away, actually, from Velocity. Velocity seems to lack the straight line speed. Oh, interestingly, XRL Fearless has gone into the pits. Is he going to make the same? Yeah, he has. And so's Jambo. Jambo and Fearless have both gone into the box.
They've got 4 laps to make it work. It's not many laps.
Surely that's not enough time. You're not going to make enough time up, are you? No, yet Fearless has gone for intermediate tyres, and so has Jambo.
It is raining a lot less now. It's not as heavy, that's for sure, but really, with 4 laps left, is it?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, how long's the pit stop? 25 seconds?
Yeah, exactly.
You need to be 6 seconds a lap faster. And that's like going from the wets to dries. And even now, XRL Fearless had to tiptoe through turn 1. Meanwhile, Jambo didn't even make turn 1. And Stewart is going to drive past Fearless through turn 3 to take 9th position. So having seen Ice Cold Andy screw it up, both Jambo and Fearless do the same. What's going on?
I tell you what I think it comes down to, and I'm no saint at this either, because I do exactly the same as these guys. We do not practice wet conditions all too often. And really at a track like Malaysia, maybe we should be thinking more along the lines of, I think we need to practice the wet conditions today, because it is a track which is notoriously famous for wet conditions.
2009, need we say any more?
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, the rain has stopped, so it is going to dry up, but it's not going to dry up quickly enough.
No.
They need the track to start drying.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton is in the box. P4, he's in. And
so LGS is going to sweep on past him now, because he's just coming onto the pitch straight.
I will tell you what I was just about to say about Lewis Hamilton. We've got his previous race performances here. He's very, very consistent. He's always, he does the whole race, he gets a decent position, usually top 5. He averages about 13 points a race over the last 5 races. He's doing good. But he's, I don't know, I just feel like he's
Now,
dropped a couple
this
of places
is
because of that.
interesting. Going through turn 3, even though there's puddles on track, you can actually see the racing line.
It's the rain stopped. The rain has nearly stopped now. It's just a couple of spits and spots
is
here
the
and there.
intermediate tyres going to come into play? Hamilton, let's run up with Hamilton. He's the guy to watch here, because he's in turn 4 now, just behind LGS.
Just about, a little bit timid on the exit, but generally is taking it quite well.
Indigo's behind him on the wet tyres. This is the duel to watch, as Hamilton's gone gingerly through turns 5 and 6, and look at the grip difference. Indigo just goes, thank you very much, and takes that position very, very easily there, and goes completely past him. And look at the gap already that Indigo's opened up.
Sloppy from Lewis Hamilton. They've thrown away good points today. It may still come to them. It may well still come to them. But if you're someone like NMR Mr. Indigo, who's just driven past someone like Lewis Hamilton as easy as that, wow, why would you want to pit? With only
look at
3 more laps to go after
Roberts
this.
is now only 3 laps to go. He's just crossed the start-finish line to start lap 54. Tom 625 on the wet tyres, just gone through the hairpin corner. Then in 5th place, LGS, same position. Going all the way up, and then you're going all the way back to the start of the DRS zone for Indigo, and he's already got about 3 seconds on Hamilton. So the guys like Indigo, the guys like LGS, and Tom 625 and Bobbitt, they're probably going to get just enough time that even if that intermediate tyre is suddenly 3 seconds, and Hamilton's back in the box!
Oh no. He's going back for the wet, isn't he?
I can't see him going for anything else, but the rain's stopped. He might as well stick with the tyres and grin and bear the pain. Why throw it away now? He's now going to be at least 8th. And indeed, he's gone back to the wet.
God. Some people
Hamilton's now going to lose out to Velocity, who's going to still be on the intermediate tyres. Velocity's going to sweep on through now.
Well, it is points, but it could have been so much more. Let's see if he can get past Velocity then. They're on completely different tyre compounds.
Well, we saw what on the previous lap, we saw what Indigo did to him through turn 3 and then through turn 4, and Fearless has retired as a result of it. So XRL Fearless has now given up. So we've got 2, and look at this, coming off turn 3, look at the grit difference. The wet tyres are obviously still the tyre to be on, because Hamilton's just drove clean past Velocity like he wasn't even there.
Let's get Fearless in, see what he has to say for himself about the sloppy decision.
I mean, Ice Cold Andy showed why you shouldn't be changing tyres. Why did these guys not watch and learn? But full credit to TRL Button, not as 91.
We can see it all, can't we?
Yeah.
So.
But Fearless, I mean, we saw quite a lot of drivers going for the intermediate tyres. I'm really struggling. What forced you to make the decision to go for it? Because you seem to go for solid points.
Because I was just, with the wet tyres, as soon as I start locking up with them when at the same braking points as like I'd normally do, then normally, well in the past, it's meant that I've had to change to inters, and I haven't done it, so I've lost loads of time from it, and I just felt that there was enough grip for the inters, but there obviously wasn't. I took a gamble. Jambo took a gamble, and everyone else took a gamble.
Lewis Hamilton took a gamble, Andy took a gamble.
I was just about to say then, we saw Ice Cold Andy. He went for that, and he lost a critical amount of time. I mean, surely, from your position, you'll have seen where he came out and realised that it wasn't time to switch.
Well, to be honest, I didn't think it was, like, I didn't know he was going to switch to the inters, because at that point I was doing quite well on the wets, and I didn't realise that he pitted for inters. I just thought he was making an extra pit stop for some weird reason, I don't know. But, I mean, if I would have knew that, then I probably would not have pitted, but I was just locking up at the hairpin, the downhill hairpin, and then uphill on the exit, and it was just losing me too much time. So I just went for the gamble, see if it would work out, and it just didn't.
Well, to tell you how badly it's affected Hamilton's race, Hamilton, I believe, has just been lapped by Nutters 91. No, it's Jambo. Jambo's just been lapped. He's in P10.
Well,
Lewis Hamilton, he's lapped.
Lewis Hamilton, he pit for inters, didn't he? But then he's actually gone back in on the wet and made a move on Velocity as easy as anything. I mean, he's now in P8. He's got 1 and a bit laps because he isn't lapped. Can he catch up to Stewart, who's P7? He's next car down the road. I would say not.
4 or
No,
5
Lewis,
seconds.
Lewis Hamilton's lapped, so he can't. So no, this will be Lewis Hamilton's finishing position, 8th place. As I say, the rain has stopped, so I could see where some people were going with the inters, but it just was a little bit too early. Maybe a lap or two from now, but unfortunately.
It's got a 5-second lag. I went over the finish line. Don't know who it was. I can't see anyone. This rain just shouldn't have come at all. The rain just goosed my race.
Well, TRL. He's going to come round to complete the podium, XRL Button. It's a guy who was totally out of it, looked like he was nowhere, scavenging for the lower points in 8th place, has shown by keeping cool and watching the conditions, has managed to keep it going for now. It's a question of whether he can make the final hairpin to complete the podium, and if he does, it'll be a fantastic result for a driver who's really shown that maximising your performance is what counts on days like this.
Right, Fearless, I want to speak to you after, so being back out, I'll give you an invite to a party in about 15 minutes or something like that.
Tom 625 and the Mercedes, having been the runner-up in GP2, has also shown taking a leaf out of Bobbitt's book, and he's going to make himself into P4. Great performance, and what a sterling recovery drive from XRL, yes, having made that extra pit stop and looking like he was totally out of position, failing to make the corner, switching back to the wets. He's managed to just do it in time to get himself over the line in 5th place, and Enema Mr. Indigo, running outside the points for most of the race, kept the tyres at the right point and kept his head while everybody else lost theirs to come round for Red Bull and take 6th place. Fantastic performance from him too.
8 big points for him. Really pleased with his performance as well. Some really big performance out there. Stuart Indigo really benefiting from the sloppy driving of others towards the end. The winning gap, 30 seconds. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than that, but just I think the guys who were battling behind him there were all battling pretty close, and I think that's just what it is.
Indeed. So we're just waiting now for the drivers to join us on the podium so we can get their opinions of what happened on the track. Just waiting for all the other drivers to join us here at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Of course, coverage tonight was brought to you by Excite Racing League in conjunction with GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Exclusively on Twitch.tv. Tomorrow night, the racing carries on. GP2 will be on at 8 o'clock, same time, same place, on Channel 1 only. I will be leading the commentary along with Chris Moss. And then from there also, you got the GP3 and F4 on Tuesday. You may only get the GP3 because our F4 stream is currently unavailable. And then we got F5 and T6 on the Wednesday. So in the meantime, we're just waiting now for TRL Button to join us in the party so we can get his opinions on what happened in the race. While we wait for him, we'll go over to the runner-up for today's race, Nutters 91. A race where we saw a lot of people really struggling to keep their heads with regards to the tyres. Was the conditions changed a bit too much when it came to the final part of the race?
It was a little difficult, depending on what strategy you're on. But no, I didn't struggle too much. My main problem was... switch the button.
Yeah, I just lost you. Can you say that again?
Yeah, I wasn't struggling too much with my tyres. They kind of transitioned quite well. My main problem was I was sort of clinging onto button and everything was going to plan, and then I went to the second pit phase, and I think 3 laps in, coming into the second to final corner, I broke a bit early, turned in too early and clipped the bollard on the inside and lost half my front wing, and then it just ruined me. I lost time to button, and then for the third pit stop I ended up in a load of traffic and he ended up pulling away. But end of the day, it wasn't super crucial because Button was on fire when it come to the wet tyre, so not too disappointed. He would have overtaken me anyway had I managed to get past. So yeah.
Well, Button, we'll go to you. Thank you for your comments there, Nutters. We'll go over to you now. I mean, 2 races, 2 wins. Surely it's the perfect opportunity to start thinking to yourself as to whether you can make a title challenge then.
Yeah, that felt good, that race. In the wet conditions I really felt sharp, moving about. Yeah, I'm looking really, really good for the other races to come. Really looking good. I'm really looking forward to this week.
I mean, we've seen 2 races in a row now where Ice Cold Andy has really got the call wrong with regards to the wet tyres. Has that surprised you? Because he seems to be of similar pace to you, so I would have expected you both to be reacting to each other.
I expected Andy just to follow what I was doing. You know, continue on dry tyres until it was, losing time and, heat come out of my tyres. That's when I would pit. I don't know why Andy pitted so early for. Just compromised his race 2 times in a row now.
Yeah, that's what our opinion in the box was. One thing I will say, Button, is that tonight you have actually had some cheerleaders. TRL Gutierrez and TRL Magnuson have both been watching and sending plenty of messages of support for your performance out there. But needless to say, you did streak away. Looking ahead to China, is that a circuit where you expect a closer fight from the field, or is that one of the circuits where you're really confident?
I reckon I'm pretty good there. I've been practicing that a lot. I've been doing time trial around there a lot, and I think I'm pretty confident around there. I think at the same pace as Andy, or a little bit faster. I should do well.
Pretty quick everywhere, if I'm honest.
Oh, well, congratulations. Well, XRL Bobbert, I want to move over to you, because early on in the race, it looked like you were setting yourself for the lower end of the points and just being consistent. At any point, did you believe that you were going to be able to get up onto the podium today?
One simple answer, no. That was the last thing that I expected to get from today. I mean, I think I called the strategy just right, I think, which is what helped me going on those 2 prime stints and getting them to last those 14 and 15 laps, which really helped me to get me back up where I thought I should have been. And then the likes of Jambo and Fearless just making categoric errors, and I just took advantage, and just, as you said, just being consistency was the key, and I think that's what's got me the 3rd place today.
I mean, obviously, we were saying in the box how it seemed like you were just looking to be a good runner-up to your teammate LGS, who seemed early on to be the one fighting for the glory. Being able to race with the likes of Andy, Tom625, must give you a massive confidence boost going into China next week.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I mean, as I said, in the actual qualifying itself, my wet race pace it wasn't there at all. I couldn't get a lap in, but for some reason, when it actually came to when it really mattered, it was really good. And when it comes to China next week, got pole position on it last year in GP2. Might hope for a repeat, but it will be a bit difficult to be the likes of Button and Andy in particular. But I am looking forward to it. It is a track that I am strong at.
Meanwhile, Neratos has just sent a message to me saying, "I'm your biggest fan, Bobbert. Heart." You
because he's been playing COD with me a lot recently, and going from 11th to having a good start, and then going all the way to the back, and then coming back through again. That's probably one of the best races I think I've ever had. So.
Well, I will say that a bit from myself, and also from some of the viewers like TRL Gutierrez and from Steve-O, you all put on spectacular racing. Thank you all very much, and massive congratulations to all of you. And as I said to all you people watching out there tonight on Channel 1, tomorrow evening, GP2 will be live. I will be in the box along with Chris Moss. And then on Tuesday evening, GP3 will be going out live. F4 will also be happening that night, so hopefully you'll get a bit of a pit lane report on what's happening there. And on Wednesday evening, it's the F5000 and T6 dual header on the Wednesday evening. But then, of course, same time, same place, Channel 1 and Channel 2 in simulcast at Shanghai, China. We will be there next Sunday evening with all the great drivers like the TRL Button, all battling there once more. Coverage tonight brought to you by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. From all of us watching, thank you all very much, and good night.
Do you want to enhance your XRL racing experience? Sign up to Premium today to receive 800 Microsoft points from XRL gamertag and join the ever-growing community. An ad-free forum with a members area and additional features such as extended private messaging limits. Every stream uploaded to members forums from F1 to F5000 and XRL Classics. A custom signature on the XRL forum of your choice. All new setup lap guides from F1 drivers such as Velexity, F1 Nige and Mr Ice Cold Andy. Monthly prize draws with big prizes from sponsors such as GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Pick the car you want next season with XRL Driver Priority. Premium members get to pick their car ahead of the driver draws. 10% off all store items and a free keyring when you sign up, so help support the league today and sign up for XRL Premium.